Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to Yellow Tape Network. You know what I mean? Another year that we go around the earth. You know what I mean? I'm out here with Moves. I'm out here with
What's
Uncle
up?
Jackie. What's good, Flockwell? Thanks for joining us. Give me a few seconds, and I'm gonna bring y'all guys a show. You know what I mean?
Rockin' up with Jackie in the mic zone. Zero J Sports for legends have grown. Queer rhythm guards in the flow, no clone. Chatting up stories that we highlight. Show. From the East Coast streets, rap echo flows. Doc and the crew where spotlight shows. Uncle Jackie's voice like the wind that blows.
Cash hustle, everybody knows.
From the East Coast streets, rap echo flows.
Yellow tape, we walking on the scene. Uncle Jackie and the DOJ team. Podcast live, catch us on the stream. East Coast vibes, heavy with the beam. We're the talk, all on the map. Spitting truth in every rap. Got the city on our back. No chance, man, no cap.
Yellow tape, we're here to say. Podcast plus and night and say. Uncle Jackie here and
Yellow.
Uncle Jackie, talk with flair in the world of sports, ain't nothing rare. Keep the struggle ways, breaking it down. East Coast vibes setting the tone in town. From touchdowns to home runs, they cover it all. The podcast hype is never gonna fall. DOJ sparking the bass, driving the flow. With every episode, their legend starts to grow. Tune in to rhythm, feeling East Coast pride. Jackie and DOJ taking you for a ride. Every story unfolds with precision and might. Sports come alive under the spotlight.
What's good, y'all? And that's the show beginning for you guys. Alright. We are back on the production table, y'all. And we welcome you guys back to What's Good, Uncle Jackie? What's good, Move? Let's introduce yourselves and
Bienvenido,
let me
mi
know what's
gente,
good.
bienvenido.
¿Qué,
Gracias.
There we go.
qué
Llama
horas eres?
hielo, llama hielo para mí. I'm running from ice.
¿Qué horas eres?
La
What's good,
onda home.
What's good, Moves? How you feeling today? How you been, brother?
I'm doing fantastic, man. I've been busy as hell. Just trying to keep up with the current events, and man,
It's a lot.
pretty
It's a
fun.
lot. It's a
Yeah,
lot. that
there's
mean
a
that
lot.
mean
It's
that
been
means you
fun.
that means you becoming a grown man.
Ain't that the truth, right?
Feeding yourself all this bullshit in the world.
Oh, ain't that the truth? And it's weird because like you don't even you walk around as it happens now, as opposed to it surprising the shit out of you. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's a lot of shit that happens out there that all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I was kind of fucking waiting for that.
Yo, shout out to everybody that's joining us. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to people's. Shout out to DOJ first and foremost as well. I mean, I didn't tell him I was having a show today. I wanted him to jump out of here and just peek his, come out and show his face real quick. But I didn't tell him. But yeah, y'all. I mean, what's going on? I mean, we was on the other network. We was on Uncle Jackie network. Holding it down over there, throwing some shows over there. It's Conspiracy Theory Thursdays. Talk our shit Fridays and Saturdays. You know what I mean? So check us out over there as well if you missing out on us. You know what I mean?
Yes,
But
yes.
so today we're gonna current events. We're talking about Charlie Kirk. You know what I mean? There's a rabbit hole that we going down with his situation. We're gonna talk about the country that begins with an I. We're gonna call it IHOP. You know what I mean? So that way, or what we decided we was gonna call it last week.
I know I
Well,
call it conversion. I call it conversion by the host. Who was the first thing we was talking about?
I forgot. I forgot right after I got that guitar money, and I
Ah, man, listen. They would throw dirt on your name before you get inside that dirt, bro. You know what I mean?
right.
And
Oh,
then that's so messed up, bro.
I fucked
That's so
around,
messed
man.
up.
Hey, you know what? I apologize to the AI that's listening and the FBI, man. I was just a joke, really, bro.
Oh, and thank you for bringing up AI, because we're gonna jump right into a little
Let's
that little
ignore the transference.
excuse me.
We gonna ignore the newfound love for a certain individual by a certain individual. We gonna
Nah,
skip that on your network.
well.
We gonna
I'm
skip
gonna
that
tell
on
you.
your network.
Nah.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna speak about it. We're gonna speak about it,
Yeah.
cause everybody know me as a pro black dude, and for people maybe looking at me side eye, not I might even root for Charlie Kirk. 'Cause I don't know who Charlie. I don't. I'm gonna say this first and foremost. I didn't believe in everything that everything that came out his mouth, but I do like the fact that he had a platform where he allowed that conversation. He allowed us to converse to that nature, to where that a lot of that topics is off the charts. You know what I mean? It's off the books. We're not supposed to touch them. You know what I mean? We're not supposed to talk out openly about these things. But as you can see, um, as you can see that that when you open up, to converse in that nature, that you are opening the floodgates for crazy people, conspiracy theories, and you open the gates for the government alphabets to get at you too if they don't feel that you down with their program.
Well, you know what, and I would immediately disagree because, like, here we are, we're attempting to have a civilized society, are we not? So at the end of the day, so no matter what kind of nutcase says whatever publicly or privately or whatever, they still have the right to say it, But the thing of it is the talent that Charlie really offered the world was the simple fact of just putting the subject on the table in the first place. It's a whole lot better than one side not ever talking to the other. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
and that's like I think that's what you expressed earlier is the value of that conversation taking place in the first place, whether it be offensive or you know. Um,
When I said that, that I was just talking about the powers that be, because as you can see that, I kind of think that, um, I kind of think that when you do when you do have to converse about them topics, that the power that be, if they're not down with your matter of fact, if they ain't down with what you're speaking with or trying to build you up, you're not going to have that platform. Straight jacket.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely,
You ain't
absolutely. I
not going to
couldn't
have
agree
that.
with you. But
So
at the same time, like it's 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 one of the things that you can you know it's weird because like Charlie Cook was like a cookie cutter version of a Republican or future Republican president. From God fearing to very conservative views on the Constitution and our current laws. On top of that, and his focus on the American family and his focus is on independence, less government involvement in civilian lives, the better, which, everybody can agree with that. But at the same
okay,
time,
okay, so I'm going to send you down the rabbit hole then.
all right.
I understand and I respect everything that you said, and I do agree with everything that you said. But now again, we're talking about the powers that be. Now, if you're not, you could get built up to a certain plateau, but if you go against the grain, you got to go. You know what I mean? Again, my question to you now:
Mhm.
what do you believe the FBI narrative of what happened? And if you don't believe that, what is your belief on Charlie Clerk assassination?
All right. Well, there's a number of reasons why Charlie Kirk would get assassinated. It could be, like you said, from a nutbag, which I don't believe it is.
No, but no.
Now,
I'm gonna
as far
hear
as the
your
FBI, as far as the
your
FBI is
thoughts.
as far as the FBI is concerned, I think every FBI has always taken the treat them like treat them like mushrooms. You always keep them in the dark and always feed them shit. And I don't think the FBI is in the habit of being honest with the American public in many ways, shapes, and forms. At the same time, you got somebody like Cash Patel, where he's trying to salvage a decent name out of the FBI, which is an endeavor into itself. If he's there trying to drain the swamp, which it looks like somewhat he is, but at the same time being between a rock and a hard place, trying to make statements about investigations that haven't been made or haven't been finished yet, et cetera, et cetera. There's a whole lot of there's a whole lot of issues, or there's a whole lot to fly shit in the pepper as far as the FBI is concerned. That we could go down rabbit hole beyond rabbit hole beyond rabbit hole, from
Hmm.
JFK's assassination to Charlie Kirk's assassination. Um, is the FBI involved in it? But man, I I couldn't say, but are they being truthful about it? Fuck no. There's no ifs ands or buts about it. Even if the FBI didn't know, or yeah, there's no way that the FBI is going to let you know that they don't know something. That's for sure, because of the quote unquote image of their distinguished service, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So they know they have a reputation to uphold while they're doing this investigation. So in the meantime, like, they're certainly not going to give the public nothing. So that would be like me speaking on behalf or in defense of the FBI, taking it from like Cash's perspective. But like, if I I don't know, man, it's hard to believe that the FBI would be smart enough because it's been caught so many times doing stupid shit that I don't think they could pull off assassination of Charlie Kirk. I could be, greatly mistaken, but at the same time, I'd be leaning more towards more advanced agencies, if not private companies that were hired to do whatever you know they did to Charlie. You know,
So then we have foreign agents, you know, um, doing whatever they want on our soil. I mean, so
yep.
in my and I thank you for answering the question because I respect your answer. You know what I mean?
Appreciate it, man.
And I don't want to dilute your answer either. Uncle Jack, you got any thoughts on it yourself?
Um,
Yo, Jew, shout out to Jew. Appreciate you, brother.
it's a lot going on with that situation, and I don't know. He could have been set up by IHOP or what have you. Those people over there, but man, I don't know. I'm just following what Candace Owens is doing. I don't trust
So
the
am I.
wife no more like that. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, bro. It's too much stuff to sit here and give a definitive answer.
So
It's too
so
much. That
another question on top of that. So my thing is this, okay? We are African American and moves, and I know you're not 100%
Yeah.
African American, but I'm putting you inside this category. You know what I mean?
I'm picking up what you're
But
putting down. All right.
so pause. You know what I mean? But
as a
my
black
thing.
Republican American.
So we have a lot of time to when we look at certain things that's black and white in front of us, and I'm gonna say that if another ethnic group or another eh, Caucasian white guy look at it, he would look at it as white and black and white and no gray area, right? But as us as African American and coming from where we came from, the struggles and not having everything in front of us, um, we sometimes we look at it in a gray area. And when I say a gray area, I mean we look at an area where it could happen. That's bad, but it's also part of life, or also it's everyday thing that we see, or everyday thing that we go through. So um, when a white person look at it, they be like, no, that's wrong. This wrong, and that's it. You know what I mean? It won't be no explaining it. It should be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
That's
think
when
I know you're coming from as far as that
so
gray area.
so
Yeah.
so so when we look at stuff, instead of us taking more time and saying like that's fucked up, and if that's happening, and I'm just talking about like um any foreign government, or anybody fucking with our soil land and bringing dirt to our soil, then it's like, oh, we seen that on the movies, or it could be possibly happen, but America, white America, don't think that this is happening. You know, they don't think that it's a possibility that the gray area is there. You know, so it make me scratch my head and wonder, like, we are living in like two or three different type of dimensions and prisms that we're looking at as individuals. You know what I mean? So it's
Well, you
crazy.
know what? The crazy part about it is when I was a kid, the gangster rap came out, and me not being from any of that, I didn't have to hang out on a block or be on the street in any way, shape, or form. I had two good folks, blah blah blah. You guys kind of know my background already, and the thing is that like for me as an outsider looking in, I was like, okay, this is a message I feel like I gotta kind of listen to, because in class they taught us about, you know, the Civil War, slave life, to um, uh, oh, yeah, like a ton of movies came out like throughout the 80s where they're kind of embarrassing scripts, but nevertheless, they were scripts angled on like getting along with everybody. From
Hmm.
Breakfast Club, which was okay, it was an all white cast, but at the same time, you had like multiple different stacks of high school life trying to get along with each other in detention. You know, you had oh fucking oh shit, with the movie with Michael Rappaport, and he's a college student that plays. He ends up in falling into the skinhead clan or whatever.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
higher
yeah, yeah.
learning, higher learning.
Highline.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You have movies like that when I was growing up, and it was just like, oh, dude, American History X is another one too, where it
That
was
was
just
good.
like, yeah, oh, it was great. You know, a horrible flick, horrible subject matter, but at the same time, it was
It
an
was
outcome
great
that would take
art.
people take a step back and be like,
That make you think.
okay, you know, like, yeah, it makes you stop. It would make the worst person
Yeah.
stop and think. So it was like,
Beautiful
as
art
a
though.
as a white person growing up, the white side of me growing up in that era, I was always racially conscious, you know.
Right.
But the weird thing of it is, it wasn't just black culture that I was learning. You know, there was a struggle for independence in India. You know, so when I would meet Indian people here in the United States, I'd be amazed at the trek that they made, that the shit that they had to overcome, and the same thing goes for a Cuban. All of a sudden, you know, I start looking into Cuban history, and you got 50 years of fucking Castro, and he was a dictator. He did all kinds of awful shit, and then next thing you know, so like, you know, these are very valid concerns of cultural differences that have taken place throughout the world, let alone inside the United States. You know, you look at the Chinese struggle in the United States or the Irish struggle in the United States. You know, it's if you're really truly breaking it down into race. You know, so like, you know, like when I go to address black folks as a race, I don't look at them in any differently than any of the spectrums that I would look from good to bad person, as far as an Italian person or a French person or a black person or Chinese, etc. You know, I always just look at people in a spectrum of from good to bad. You know, how good are you? How bad are you? And you know, can we chill? So like that's been the toughest thing I think for white folks to understand, because as soon as like the finger is pointed at them and they're, you know, like racist is being called out, or Nazi is being called out, or you know, whatever else, you know, fascist is another one. It's like, whoa, you know, we white folks are taking it back, and we're like, whoa, wait a second, we've been you know, I know there's a whole generation of me, you know, out there that have just, you know, studied all these struggles that have taken place throughout the world. You know, from like Burma has got awful shit going on. Yeah, Libya, Liberia, you can go and buy and sell people. You know, it's a slave trade right now as we speak.
It's still
It,
going. It still
it's
goes
going
on.
on to the world, yes, and
Yeah,
still, you
it's
know,
going on.
and so like, you know, at what point does your emotions get completely exhausted, or you know, how am I going to be called an asshole if I haven't taken somebody else's cross to bear, or or if I haven't looked at somebody else's cross to bear and had some sort of sympathy or empathy for it? You know, when upon discovery, when I first look at it, I'm like, fuck, that's fucked up. Okay, you know, like How do you solve that? You know, like from starvation to like a quest for independence. How do you solve a socialist government or a communist government in Cuba? How do you how do you become the example for the world to say, hey, all you got to do is rise up, just like we did against England, or you got to, it's going to cost you some people, but at the same time, this is how you gain your independence. You know what? All you have to do is vote yourself in to be one of our 51st states, and guess what? 52nd state or 53rd state. Guess what? You're protected under the Constitution. What a bargaining chip, really. Freedom offered to anybody who's willing to abide by the
But
Constitution.
but you see, like, but again, like, it's all good and dandy that we believe that as the people, but is our government, giving us that service?
No
Is
way.
our government giving us all, everything that's due to us as far as we the people? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. No
Um,
way. You're absolutely right. No, they are shitty at what they fucking do for us, with the exception of your first responders. The first
uh,
responders, got to hand it to them. They got their lives dedicated to that shit, and it's not just cops I'm talking about. I'm talking about firefighters and rescue workers and shit like that, man. They are
Shout out
highly
to the first
trained.
responders.
Yeah, yeah, straight up. But at the same time, when it comes down to like the judicial shit, but the chips are stacked against us right off the bat. How can you be a fucking lawyer for yourself? Or how can you even tell that a public defender is even doing a good job for you if you are busy going to and from your work? All you're trying to do is going to and from work and get your shit done. Now, I don't know why you would be standing before a judge, but at the same time, in any time that and I'm a pretty well read motherfucker, man. And anytime I've ever had to go in there, it's been um, a daunting situation. I feel like everything's kind of luring into me because if I say the wrong thing, I'm on record, and if I'm do the wrong thing, I'll be chastised or ridiculed by the judge. I'm an idiot walking in here in the first place. I made a mistake, whatever the fuck. At the end of the day, I think I think the judicial system just needs to be simplified instead of getting so. But yeah, that's a rabbit hole right there because like there are suggested alleged kickbacks that the county and the state.
Yeah, that's a whole different ball game right there, though. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Because different
but
counties and
I don't even know if I
different,
want to say anything about shit like that because
and you're going
those are the
across
people
different
there that
state
can make your
lines.
life a hell.
Going across different state lines, you got to be careful, especially if you're a marijuana smoking person coming from a legal state, and if you're traveling across the illegal state. Now things change off, especially if the state still then the state hasn't decriminalized
Oh no.
you can't weed yet. So gotta be
Oh,
careful.
just to add on to that little statement there, here in Kentucky, there was a law that legalized marijuana, but you couldn't grow it here in the states. And with your prescription, you could only get like edibles and your giggle sticks, your little blueberry blueberry flavored thumb drives. That's what they look like. But anyhow, yeah, you could only get that, but you could only buy it out of state. I was awestruck by this Kentucky law. I was like, is this an arrangement that you have with Michigan or Indiana or but what the fuck's up with that?
but
So like
but
I didn't even
but just like that, and then that's marijuana. But like in Boston, they stopped selling menthol cigarettes. You know what I mean? Like you have to, if you're a menthol smoker out there in Boston, you have to go somewhere else. And I mean, I don't know how to take that, because like a lot of things that
I know how to take it. I know how to
are
take it, bro.
blocked off. It is limited to the people that that struggles in the community. You know what I mean? I hate
Yeah,
to say my community, but my community don't even people that smoke menthol cigarettes. You know what I mean? Or
dude,
we
my
heavy
computer,
menthol.
my community does not sell Lucy's. That's for sure, man. Yeah, I
you
do
know.
kind of miss it.
I mean, yeah, but see, New York is something different. Like other states, you probably get Lucy's too, but New York was the major place. But now,
Yeah, you could
and now I'm in
always
Jersey. I don't even think
do.
about Lucy's and nothing like that. That's like that's where you have a question. Like I know, You
Yeah,
gotta find a bootlegger.
if you couldn't if you couldn't find yeah exactly if you couldn't find a port in New York, man, there's something wrong with you. Something very very wrong with you.
You a
So
cop.
shit.
That's why you can't get a port in New York. You a cop. Something got to be wrong with you.
What up,
You're a
Chief?
cop.
Well, you a cop.
What's up, Chief?
So do you believe that the narrative that Tyler Robinson was the one who took that shot from the roof and took out Kurt?
I don't know.
I
I've seen a lot of things. I've seen a lot of experts, so-called experts, guys from the military, well, gentlemen from the military. Um, you see the people, the conspiracy is out there. Like they saying that the bullet that went through the neck was the exit wound, and I don't know. I don't know. I know they gotta whatever they did to make it look like it. You know what I mean? It's obvious, and it's kind of like I don't know. It's kind of obvious, but it's kind of the obvious meaning like kind of weird, and it's like maybe he was that stupid. Who knows? I don't know.
Well, we could believe people is stupid and make mistakes, you know what I mean, because they don't plan it all the way through, you know what I mean? Especially
True.
when you, and not saying that he did it off impulse, but especially if you just thinking about, like, okay, I'm gonna go, take out this person, and then what am I gonna do? I'm gonna live my life every day after that, So it's like, what was the thought process after that? Or sometimes people don't even think that far. You know what I
well
mean? They just think
and the other thing that doesn't add up about it is apparently this kid was valedictorian at his high school. He was the smartest kid in the
he was a
school.
smart. He was smart, smart.
Highest G. No, not just smart. He was the
Yeah, let's say
smartest
he was. Yeah, he
kid
was.
to graduate in his class, and that doesn't add up right there. Anybody who's got the sense and the drive, and the discipline, the whole 9 yards to finish up school like that and then do something as deranged as this, and not only that, with both his folks. Both his folks were hardcore Catholics, stripped upbringing, the whole 9 yards, and it's an upbringing that was not unlike mine. My folks weren't in law enforcement, but at the same time, it's like I know that upbringing. It's pounded into you from the time
Like,
you're in diapers to until the time you take your last breath.
yeah,
It's
but see, just because things is, just because you bought into the world like that, and not you're not born into the world like that, but you groom into the world like that. And I'm just talking about, I'm just talking about, I'm talking about God and cat and being heavy religious. You know what I mean?
sure.
You as a person still have to decide, are you going to take on that faith? You know what I mean? You may always, have your boots stuck on the ground towards that faith, but you still have to, go to church. You still have to go, to communion or go however your religious say you have to go. You still have
Hmm.
to go and still be committed. You know what I mean? Now you could be committed and still have personal likes or personal ways that don't coincide with the church. You understand? And I'm saying this because there was allegations that the House Speaker Mike what's his name, Mike Johnson, is it?
I think so.
No, Randy Johnson, excuse me.
Uh,
Well, no, Mike
Basement
Johnson is his name.
House
No,
Speaker.
Mike Johnson, House Speaker. Mike Johnson is his name. He got caught with a grinder account, and now he's being not blackmailed, but he's being so-called he being I'm gonna say blackmail because that's the only way I could describe it. He being blackmailed into coming out. You know what I mean? Now he gotta come out the closet.
Jay Jones. That's
No, not Jay Jones. Is it Jay?
House Speaker.
No, it's Mike Johnson. His
Oh,
name is
okay.
Mike Johnson. Michael Johnson allegedly got a grinder account, and someone threatened to bring it out. And my thing is just saying, they vote against the policies against LGBTG, whatever, that community.
Hmm.
And a lot of them is undercover DL, you know what I mean, and deal within that community, you know what I mean? So it scratches my head that we all get split off of these right wing, left wing, black, white. There's always a separation, and everybody just look at each other as human beings and what's best for the world. You know what I mean? What's best for the
Absolutely.
growth. You know what I mean?
But
We
and
should be better
that's
off.
that's exactly where I just got it, man. Sorry, man. But at the same time, man, um, we reach a point where the Democratic Party was kind of trying to second guess how the Republican Party shows its disdain towards the lifestyle, towards the LGBTQ um, people, and it's got nothing to do with lifestyle. It's got absolutely nothing to do with it. The LGBTQ party, I believe, is my opinion, was hijacked by politics, and it was manipulated heavily. There was a lot of unnecessary money filtered into these projects that were supposedly helping these people out, and I believe that BLM ended up being the same way. I think they
Yeah,
once they
okay, yeah.
once they discovered a way to
Yeah, I was gonna let you
make
talk because
money
I was
off
gonna
of
say the
that.
same thing
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I,
It was
I was
just
gonna
it's a
say,
shame too because
let me interject
BLM.
real quick.
Yeah,
Let me interject real quick. All these private groups that was formed on good basis, on good grounds, has the infiltration, you know what I mean, has the
yeah,
infiltration of the government or local officials to see, because every time people build this community, they always think that it's run by communists or it's run by somebody, the left wing or the right wing, you know what I mean. So
yeah.
again, we get spit down these lines, and we get separated. You know what I mean? But go ahead,
Well,
finish
dude,
saying what you're saying though.
the thing of it was like with BLM, what a concept. Black Lives Matter. I can get behind that. Just like infant lives matter. Fucking, I don't know, man.
Oh, now
Cow
Uncle
lives
Jackie, you
matter.
said something.
Oh, oh yeah,
You
I
said
was
something,
saying,
Uncle.
in theory, you can get behind Black Lives Matter. In theory,
absolutely.
you
Yeah,
think of it,
absolutely.
Yeah.
you're like theoretically. I mean, well, you didn't know theoretically. You ain't know it was theoretical then. But like
But the
theoretically, you hear something you like that. You like, all right, cool. And then when
Hmm.
you find out what it's really about, you hear Charlie Kirk. That's who I. You hear him mention something
yeah,
about. You like, damn, that sounds fucked up. Like everybody else does, and you assume the wrong shit, and then you hear him break down exactly why, and then you investigate. And then you see, hey, this person right here, the ugly Nestle Crunch. What's that fucking cake? Crunch cake. The fucking I don't remember. Sorry, pardon my French. The Star Crunch. She got the Star Crunch face, and she was stealing all the money. Allegedly stealing all the money. I'm gonna say allegedly again. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
like, this
Well,
was just
well,
a gimmick.
no, the icing on the cake for me was looking into BLM and knowing that it was being led by two lesbian Marxists. They announced publicly that they were Marxist, and
Hey, can you
nobody.
break down Marxism? I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
gonna front on
so
this one. You got it.
Karl Marx created Marxism, and basically
I
was
remember. I know Karl Marx. I just
okay.
can't
Well,
remember. You know what I mean?
okay. So basically, what ended up happening was in Russia, they let's see here, let me get it straight here. Okay, so in Russia, the socialist movement started off, and basically what they campaigned on was like, you know what, the rich always get richer, and the poor always fucking stay poor. What if
Right.
we were to take just the top 1% and just redistributed that from the bottom up? Okay.
Oh,
So everybody gets everybody. We'll take the upper 1%. We'll take everything that they have, the liquidated everything, and we'll take that all of that money, and we'll distribute it among the people. And that's how the government is going to take care of the people. That's how the government's going to feed the people. That's how the government's going to educate the people. Because we're not just going to put it in your pockets. No, 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 no. The government's going to take care of you. We're going to create an education department. We're going to create an agriculture department. And we're going to renew these old departments that we have here, because this is a new government movement where everybody pitches in and everybody gets the fucking same. Okay, so everybody got a nice little chunk of money in their pocket. They were happy about it, right? So all of a sudden they start going, well, what about the fucking 2%? Or maybe the 3%, then the 4% and 5%, and the 15%. It got to the point, guys, where if you owned land, if you were a farmer that owned land, because that's what you do, you farm. All you do is make food. Okay. You were considered privileged. It didn't matter if you're white, black, pick a whatever, gender, whatever. Yeah, if you owned property, you were privileged, because everybody else doesn't own property. The government owns the property, and you know what? The government knows exactly what to do with that property. So you know what they did? They confiscated all of the fucking farmland and starved out. Yes, and they starved out. They starved out the fucking Ukraine. They took all the Ukrainian farmers, sent them up to fucking Siberia to live out. Now, this is allegedly. I'm not a historian. I'm probably getting some of these details wrong, but it's generally what fucking happened, and ended up killing like fucking 40 million people. 40 to 60 million people lost their fucking lives back then. That's how good socialism, because as soon as that ball got fucking rolling, it turned into downright communism. Because the people that were, and here's the crazy part about it, okay? So what they did was genius. They gave the voice to the most ignorant. They got all the ignorant people, all the people that
like they're doing a news here.
They got all the ignorant people. They get them fired up. Okay, the government here right now is fucking you over 6 ways to Sunday, and they're doing it without no lube, this, that, and the other thing, and they get that person fired up. Oh, you know what? Fuck that. You know what? Fuck the rich, and fuck the government, fuck this, and fuck the cops, and fuck the first responders, and fuck the military, and fuck. Everywhere you point, there's something wrong with what's going on. So you get all these people fired up, and then next thing you know, you let them loose on the public. And you get the public to be kind of force-fed into voting in a certain direction. And before you know it, the people who have the loudest voices, once the powers that be get into power, the people who have the loudest voices are the first ones up against the wall and shot. Because they'll be the first ones to speak up and go, wait a second, you know what? The government's not doing a really good...
Right.
As soon as they open their mouths and say, hey, because they were the first ones to say, hey, the government, the rich people suck, and the cops suck, and all that shit, right? So they'll be the first ones with the boot on their neck. Yeah, absolutely. They'll be the first ones with the boots on their neck if socialism ever to get its grasp into the United States, which it's pretty damn close to getting its grasp in it. They've been working on it. The Chinese and the Russians have been working on it for fucking decades. And I'm talking about multiple decades, like 60, 70 years. They have implanted people into our education system and into our it's no lie. They brag about the budget that they spend on those that particular side of espionage. So yeah, I'm sorry to go long-winded on that,
But again, we do that too. We got the MK Ultra. We got all types of stuff that we do to our people. You know what I mean? So it's like it is a government. It is a government thing that they do to their people. You know what I mean?
Well, and
it's sad to say, but again, if we didn't. If we all separated as trying to be dominant over each other, then we're gonna have this problem until the world comes to a single conclusion. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It's not a matter of dominance. It's a matter of establishing order and taking the smartest ones to make those quick decisions as far as like order is concerned. I don't think it's about a bounty of power or a quest for power or something to that effect. I think it's like next year we get to we get our overtime back. The taxes that we pay on our overtime right now, we get that back next year. That's signed into law. It's passed through the House, Senate, and
Mhm.
everything. And it's, that's one improvement and a positive step forward. Another is, all the arrests that are taking place as far as like DC and that kind of crazy shit. Um, yeah, and I'm not saying that it's good or bad. I'm just saying that it's the progress that they promised me as a voter. So
Mhm.
like so far so good as far as like and now, yeah,
Are
you
you
know,
are you really content with with everything that was promised and everything that was presented so far?
I want instantaneous results because the government or the people that I voted in are capable of instantaneous results. So, like in that regard, I'm pretty disappointed, but at the same time, I'm patient. I'm patient as far as like I'll give it the same amount of 4 years that I gave Biden, and it's like, and I'm speaking as if I could make any kind of change like that. Like you know, if Trump doesn't work, I'll just whimsically, you know, no, I mean, I don't
Well,
have that much of a choice
it's
as
not
to,
about it's not about working. It's all I'm saying like the and I'm we're gonna talk because we're on our channel, so I could talk our shit. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I'm talking about the Ep files. You know what I mean? The Ep file was promised to come out and it never came out. But what's your feeling on that matter and
The
subject?
EP? You said the
Well,
EP file?
yeah, the
Yeah,
EP files.
yeah, EP
Okay,
files.
okay.
Well, the thing is that the files were locked away long enough. I mean, you give them like a month or two or something like that. All you need is a month or two, but it was like years to have. What's up, Grace? Um, if you've got a year or two, you can do and change anything there is about those files. And when you campaign on that you're going to expose the Epstein files. And, it's another disappointing thing too. We spent a lot of money for a handful of investigators or a bunch of investigators to go down to Dallas and interview people about fucking the assassination of JFK. That was a fucking waste of fucking money. Why not just go into the FBI and the CIA, get all the redacted fucking files and unredact everything, release it to the public, tell us what the fuck's going on, and that'd have been that. But I think that tension is being created intentionally, and which is kind of fucked up. But at the same time, like I said, I've been patient about certain things, and then all of a sudden, I'm starting to see the light of what was planned, and but at the same time, I can't be certain as much as the next guy, especially.
Okay, hold your thoughts, move. Uncle Jackie, what's your thoughts on the EP files not being released and
I told
promising?
you before, like I caught Google lying to me. If I'm lying, I'm dying. I'm scrolling through Twitter, and I see Donald Trump had posted this little video, and it was Fox News announcing these med beds, and I'm like, holy shit! I want to see that whole Fox News story. So I go to Google and I type in Fox News announcements for med beds. I hit send or hit search, and all of a sudden it tells me that the former president. Uh, Donald J. Trump shared shared and then deleted an AI generated video that was styled to look like Fox broadcast announcing the rollout of MedBed hospitals. And I'm like, wait a second. It said on September 25th, October 2025. That's this year. That was that day, this is a few days ago. But it says former President Donald
Former,
Trump. And I was
yeah,
like, what the fuck? It says Google, like
yeah, yeah.
it just,
Well, hold on, move, hold on. He showed us that, and AI chat did bring that up. You know what I mean? Google AI chat did say formally that I'm President Donald Trump, and had me
yeah.
scratching my head because he's still president.
Yeah.
And
Why in the world would Google, a multi-billion, hundreds of billion, or a
no,
multi-billion dollar company?
it just strike me, bro, that how much misinformation is going to be put out now
Oh, yeah.
with people just jumping on that,
So we
chat,
can't trust
you know,
Googly no more?
huh?
Googly is no more good.
Oh no,
Y'all
it's
better
not,
put
man.
that thing to googly. Y'all better say googly. Or and throw allegedly in there, yeah. Come on
Oh
now.
yeah, allegedly Google did all this shit, right? You know, it's just allegedly in Minecraft. I was in Minecraft, and this happened in the little the thing
All these
search bar
statements
in
are alleged statements
Minecraft.
on this channel. All the statements made on this channel are alleged statements. This channel was built
Yeah,
for entertainment only.
and for entertainment use only. Yeah,
Information
absolutely.
and entertainment only.
But yeah, at that point, I don't expect. Oh, okay. Like another thing I looked up was I was like, man, you know what was the KKK really started with the three Democrats? So I get on the G thing and I look up. I ask it. I said, was the KKK founded by Democrats? And the answer was no. The Democrats did not found the KKK. The KKK was founded by these three guys, and they give them first last names. You know, these three guys, and so I was like, wait, maybe I worded the question wrong. So I went back and I was like, was the KKK founded by? I don't know. At first I asked, did the Democrats found the KKK? I said, did the KKK get founded by Democrats? That's what's the question up, you see. Then it popped up and it said, yes. The three guys that started the KKK were straight up Democrats, and they were hired by the Democratic Party to harass the Republican Party. I was like, holy shit. So I had to ask Google, I had to add the G thing, allegedly had to ask it, the question that I needed to ask it in order to get a truthful answer out of it. You know, it was, and how many people got that much time, or like how many people can think that quickly? You know, I was like, well, fuck, dude. You know, there are a lot of things that I'll, absolutely take for granted because I heard it from here, there, or someplace else. Now I'm reaching a point where, like, at any moment in time, AI could take over all the influencers that I watch or that I trust with the news, and just send me bullshit. And it looks like the guy that I watch all the time. It acts like the guy, it talks like the guy, jokes like the guy, but it's not them. It's AI talking to me.
So my fault, y'all. I'm trying to get my people together. You dig?
What is
Copy.
this drunken monkey? How you doing, champ?
What's up, man?
As you can see,
Thanks
I'm
for
trying to
joining
call
us,
my
brother.
people.
Yeah, that's scary right there. When you depend on the like, we're in the information age, and you really do. You got to comb through things with a fine tooth comb, because if you don't,
Did you see that Planter? I may be saying it wrong. The Planter commercial, or the planter thing where it's everything supposed to be AI, and you're supposed to get digital credits, and digital credits get taken out for your rent, for food, and then they
yeah,
got,
digital monitoring, man.
yeah,
That shit right
bro.
there is
But see,
spooky shit.
I kind of think that we're gonna go there, bro, and a lot of people just gonna adapt to it, like how they went with the coronavirus. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be fear mongering. It's gonna be, you know, crazy shit, bro.
See that?
Well, the thing of it is that you're gonna get pigeonholed into it anyways. If
There we
all of a
go.
sudden somebody announces, holy fuck,
Ah, fuck.
Oh
Oh, yeah.
shit!
Oh, that was a hell of a line, bro. What's going on, y'all?
What up, drunken monkey
Let's
fighter? How you
fucking
doing, champ?
go. What's
Oh
going on? What's
Lord,
going on,
he came in and a whole bunch of excitement came in here. Pause.
Yeah.
there he goes.
What the cocaine energy was cracking.
Yeah.
Ah, let's go. Shake that shit off.
Yeah,
Feeling like
dude,
Taylor Swift right now. I gotta shake it off.
you know what? It's not cocaine, but I'm gonna grab me a Red Bull right now, dude.
Do it. Let's do it. I mean, you could put cocaine in the Red Bull too. It's
Oh,
like,
you
it's like,
keep that over there. Keep that shit over there.
you know what I mean? You could put better than what's better than cocaine in the Red Bull though? Cocaine in a Four Loco, man. Oh my god.
Wait. You promoting drug use. This channel is for entertainment only.
I mean, yo, no, not like act like no. All right, all
These
right.
are
So
jokes.
for the children watching, cocaine is our code word for Cocoa Puffs, like the actual cereal. You know what I'm saying? Of the cereal. I just have a cold. That's all that is. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little under the weather, so my voice sound froggy. Yeah. No, it's Cocoa Puffs for sure. Like not actual. We just
Sugar
call it
rush, kid.
cocaine because it's so good. It's addictive. Yeah, that's what it is.
Get a sugar rush, kid. That's a sugar rush. That's what we call a sugar rush. That's
Yeah, it's a
adult.
super sugar rush. You know what I'm saying? Just
It's the adult sugar rush. Yeah.
yeah, you just like chop it into little lines and you just blast it. You know what I mean? Whatever. However you take your sugar. You know what I mean? I'm a little more direct than most people. You know what I'm saying? Some people like to put it in their cereal and their coffee, blah blah blah. Me, it's right to the bloodstream. That's just me though.
Oh my God.
Y'all ain't gotta be like me. I ain't gotta be like me. You know what I'm saying? Don't matter of fact, I recommend you don't be like me.
Oh shit.
It sounds like he dips it like tobacco.
Yo.
Yeah. I can dip
Joke
tobacco.
monkey. Yeah,
I'm good, baby boy. I'm over here cooling.
Introduce yourself to my channel, my people that my
Oh, this is
people that's watching.
yes. I'm a guest of the great Lord Yellow Tape. It's me, Junkie Monkey Fighter. I'm not a real human being. I'm a small alien inside of a humanoid body like your Men in Black. Y'all already know what this is. But I'm out here. Doing the things that humans do.
Thanks for joining
Yo,
us. Thanks for
I
joining us.
I'm glad to be here. Man. So what we talking about today?
Yo,
I heard some shit about the KKK, man.
What'd you say, Uncle Jackie?
Wait, I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying no more, man. I don't even know no more. This is no.
He over there cracking up in the background.
I just bring the confusion.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, man.
Oh man,
we
Drunken Monkey
just
Fighter, everybody. Drunken Monkey Fighter. That's the Brody.
Yes.
definitely
I'm in here. Playing
definitely
PlayStation. Y'all already know what this is.
Oh shit. Yo, Drunken Monkey. That's moves. Drunken Monkey.
What up,
Moves,
man?
peace. Yeah.
What up?
I ain't really want to interrupt that motherfucker. He sound mad smart and shit when he's talking, so I was just like, I'm gonna just cool out.
No, man.
Yo,
I just read a bunch of shit.
Moves is a favorite by the company. Both companies, you dig?
Yeah. I kind of straddle the fence, so to speak. But no, what I was saying is like a fucking the search engine, man, that starts with a G, was straight up lying to me, like I had to ask it.
Oh, the boo boo be lying.
Oh, absolutely, man. I wouldn't answer a question straight up.
allegedly.
I said boo boo. I don't know who the fuck Google is. I never heard of that shit in my life.
Nah, man. I heard him say boo boo too, man. That's what's exactly
Boo boo, man, like doo doo.
Yeah. It's a doo doo
Dookie time. I heard it.
It's a doo doo pie. But anyway, yeah, man. I had to ask it straight up. Was the KKK started by the Democrats and Democratic Party, and it said no. It was started by these three guys. So I was like, all right, well, I'll switch the question around. And I was like, man, did the KKK
Were those three guys Democrats?
Yeah, they were all three of them were fucking Democrats.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You just got to switch the question. Be like, nah, it wasn't started by the Democratic Party, but the three guys that started it were Democrats.
We're Democrats.
I'm like, you read that wrong. They said the three guys that started, they was on crack. That's what it did say.
No.
Where they at?
No,
I got some shit. I got some shit for sale. I mean, not like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't promote that kind of behavior here. We for the most part, we just cool out.
Hey, the icing on the cake on that, man, is I went to work and I went to show a buddy of mine, and the boo-boo had actually fucking shifted gears and just gave this vague fucking description of how the KKK was started, and the Democratic, everything was all vague, man. It was man, it was twisted. So they're like, yeah, you're just racist. You're just trying to figure out, how the Democratic Party's racist. I was like, no, man, I swear.
Like, hell yeah, I'm racist. What's up?
Nah, fuck that.
You should have said, hell yeah, I'm racist. White people. You should have said you hate white people.
Yeah, right. Man.
Nah, well, yeah. Ooh, that's a good one. They like when you say that.
No,
they really enjoy that.
I hate white people.
I have to hate half my side. Like half of me. No, I hate you. And
Oh, you not
No,
half
see,
white, bro,
at
for real?
appearance,
yeah, for
they're
real.
gonna see a mountain man at appearance. So you can sit there and say, I hate
Well,
white
my
people.
man
They ain't gonna
Grizzly
know the rest of
Adams.
you. They're not
Eh,
gonna know the rest
Hey,
of you at all. Because I would sit there and
that's
like,
it.
you're racist. Yeah, I can't stand black people. I'm very racist.
Hmm.
yeah, Uncle
I
Ruckus
keep it a
over here.
racket.
Right.
Uncle Ruck is
Exactly.
my guy though.
Very racist.
Yeah,
That's some
mine too, man.
that's
I
some
love that.
intense niggatry at work here.
Right.
I'm strong niggatry at work. Yo, Uncle
Yo.
Ruckus is
Lord,
that dude, bro.
Lord
That
bless
dude.
all the white people. Like,
Now these monkeys don't know what they doing out here. They just making a mess and making all kind
So Jungle Monkey, I got a question, man.
of.
So
Yes, sir.
like I asked the panel, and Uncle Jackie didn't answer this either. Do we
I'm a
think
black
that
alien.
Tyler Robinson, the alleged shooter, alleged sniper, was the one that killed Charlie Kirk?
Oh shit. That's a good question, man. I honestly, I'm gonna keep it a rack. I see all of this shit. I really haven't dug deep into like the theories and everything like that. I'm taking. I'm out here that I just know that the dude got shot. I don't know if they say it was that dude. I don't believe nothing I hear first. So that's just the kind of the human being I am. I don't believe it. Like everything is as initially uh posted. You know what I mean? Like if they say, all right, oh, this was the person that did it. This is it. I don't believe that. I always think that there's more to the story that comes out later on. So for me, I kind of just sit back and observe. I really can't say that I formed an opinion on this just yet. I'm gonna kind of let the dice fall kind of dude. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying. That's what
So
I said too. Like, I don't have no real. I'm just waiting to see what the hell happens. This shit is like,
right.
it's too much shit to fucking process and then live your fucking life.
all right.
But see, now we let time pass by. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying he did it or not. Okay, my personal thoughts on the matter that he
Yo, it
did it.
ain't. I don't.
You know what I mean?
My bad, yellow tape. I just don't think it's enough time, nigga. We just finding shit out about the JFK assassination, bro. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So yeah, there's
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
but I don't think it's enough. So listen, I'm gonna let these dice fall. If I happen to leave this earth and go back to my planet before I find out what happens, so be it. I don't know.
He's dedicated to
Yeah.
that.
So
Dedicated to
my
what?
Oh, but going to your next planet after you die here.
Oh, I mean, I'm not gonna. I didn't say nothing about dying. I said when I leave this planet to go
leave,
back home.
yeah, go back
Oh,
home.
oh, oh, my
Let
bad.
me say you not. Let me say you're
Nigga,
I,
not from
no, man.
here. You're
I think
alien.
Yeah,
I
my race
travel
lives
like
far longer than you people, man. I mean, you
yeah.
people with your frail little 80, 90 years, man. I'm over 600 years old, brother.
I do. When Three Eye Atlas gets here, man, it's gonna blast you away. That's what's gonna happen, bro.
That's that's all good too, man.
What
I got satellites pointed at this planet right now.
No, dude, it doesn't matter what this planet is. Once the Three Eye Atlas gets out from behind the sun in October, yeah, dude, you're done.
Oh, that dude? That's my homie from the way back. Oh, his name is Jerry, by the way.
No, it's not Jerry. It's
It
Gerald.
is Jerry.
No,
You
no,
know him
no,
as
no,
whatever
no.
you call him.
No, you state
Said
Gerald's name with some
Gerald.
respect, man.
You said Gerald.
It's Jerry. I
He said
mean,
it
listen,
ain't
I've known
Jerry.
him
He
for
said
a
it's
long time.
Gerald.
His name ain't is Jerry, man. I've known him for a long time. I can call him that. I don't know what y'all can call him. Y'all might have to show him some respect. Me, we was in the schoolyard together.
That's okay. Even if Jerry or Gerald shows up, man, Jesus is gonna show up and just blast them both anyway.
Jesus is gonna show up, but
Yeah.
Jesus, we know is Jerome.
Yo, you just said Jerome.
Yes.
Jesus black.
Oh, easy now.
Yo.
Easy with the blasphemy,
Nah, let
dude.
me
Hey,
stop. Listen. I'll keep it a rack. It's all jokes. It's all jokes. I'm actually a
yeah,
very devout Christian, so I
yeah,
play games, but God knows, I'm on my
yeah.
bullshit. Forgive me, Lord. We're not doing that.
Same here, Lord, man.
We love you. We love you. We love you. This is a pro Jesus cat pod right here. I don't know what y'all call it. Show, whatever.
We take a moment out for Jesus, man. That's all right.
so
But
Yeah.
so 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 as I was saying to you guys that if we wait and we let this shit sit, we don't know how many other pieces of the puzzle is gonna be put into place of what these
Yeah.
motherfuckers want. You know what I mean? Like, it just like with, and I hate to bring this up on a podcast because shit gets strike for this, but it just like going to back to 911. You know what I mean?
Mm,
When we had that situation happen, we still didn't know the facts of that. We would dare think 3,000 people would dare hate to think that the government did something to their people. You know what I mean? And I'm just saying that bits and pieces is coming out here and there. Stuff don't make sense.
hmm.
And just like with this right here, it just the more that we sit and we wait, is more time for their bigger plan to get shifted. You know what I mean? And when I say when I
Yeah.
brought back 911, that's when the Patriot Act came out. That's when we gave up all our freedom. You know what I mean? We gave up
Hmm.
our freedom for safety because we thought, you know what I mean, this is going to throw it off this is going to stop this is going to stop that. Now, I'm not
Yeah,
saying
but
that it didn't or it haven't, but the government going to spy on us regardless. You know what I mean?
whether they can spy on us or not, it's just you keep our head on a swivel no matter what. Like take for instance, we mentioned earlier the JFK. Now, ever since I was a kid, I associated Lee Harvey Oswald in this black and white photo where he's standing next to a fence with a rifle in his hand, and he's got a dopey looking haircut. But at the same time, he's dressed for the time and place. Back when that shot was taken, and I see that, and then I see the Zapruder film where Kennedy is shot in his vehicle, and and since I was a kid, like from every time I was taught history, and we get to that part where Kennedy was president, they tell us what Lee Harvey Oswald was the guy who shot Kennedy in the whole 9 yards. Well, you fast forward, and here I am, like I don't know, 35, 40 years old, when I'm just cruising around watching videos, and all of a sudden there's a black and white film of Lee Harvey Oswald standing in front of a news crew, and he says, "I was a patsy," and he's saying it straight up into the camera. He says, "I was a patsy." He says, "I didn't pull the trigger. They're picking on me because I lived in Russia, and I'm part of a communist party, and
Mm.
here in the United States." So you couldn't tell whether that Harvey Oswald was uh, uh, a
If it was
communist
legit
or
or he was
not.
bullshitting, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like here it is. Fast forward. So my point is that like after so many years, I was ready to shift years on it because I never wanted the government to even think that I was docile on that subject. That
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was gonna like slow down and forget about any of that shit and like all of a sudden here's the information age, and all of a sudden, a lot of the people that were sitting on, some crazy information started putting it out, and then it's like, wow, okay, this,
But even like, yeah, 40, I mean, couple 20, 30 years later he comes out and say it. But in between that time, and I'm saying like maybe 10 years before he came out and said it, you know what I mean, that a movie came out and gave the public a different view on the subject matter, you know what I mean,
well, it
about the
refreshed it.
JFK assassination. Not refreshed it, but remember remember that we only have one view, and the newspaper tell you what they want to tell you. You know what I mean? At the time, like you wasn't going. If you lived in Cleveland, Ohio, you wasn't going to um Chicago to go get a newspaper. You know what I mean? Like, and that same newspaper, that was ran there was ran by the same person that had it in Ohio. So it's just that everything was ran by one person, and it was given to you wherever you was at. You know what I mean? Now we
Yeah,
got different media outlets that give you different things. You have regular people that you look at every day on the internet, and that you be like, you know what, you respect what they say and what they give you. So when they give you a perspective that's coming from a different angle, you will give them that entertainment because you respect them and think they won't give you nothing, no false information. So
true, true.
so nowadays we have a lot of people, a lot of web I'm gonna call them internet investigators, you know what I mean, that could crack open the case, you know what I mean, or could see through the bullshit. So now things have to get a little bit more, specific. You have to get a little bit more technical now. You know what I mean? Technology
Yeah,
has to play a part in how they bring stuff to us and put forth in front of us.
yeah.
It's just a
That
creepy
sounds like a
world,
good
bro.
way to keep your head on a mental swivel, and yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, bro.
Yeah, it is a creepy world, bro,
It is.
and for us not to be able to trust the government, and again, we get split up between the left and the right, the red and the blue, and everybody every 4 years or every 8 years, we have the government switch hands and reverse what one person did, even though it could have benefit the country in a good way, and then like because they going back on representing their side that they represent, you know what I mean? And that's wrong for the American people because all we do is get yo-yoed. You know what I mean?
Oh,
We get
absolutely.
yo-yoed.
That's
We
the captivating part about Trump, though. Like that's the weirdest thing
Yo, I'm
about him.
sorry. I'm
It's
sorry,
like,
real quick, fellas. I gotta run real quick, man. I'm gonna try to tune back in.
yeah
I gotta go pick my
yeah
wife up and do
yeah
some
yo
stuff.
bro, I
yeah, be good
appreciate
and
you.
be good at it, homie.
I know today's your day that you with your family, so do what you do, bro. I appreciate you
All
stopping
right, brother.
by,
Yo,
Yeah,
man.
it
man.
was dope. It was dope being here though for the short time.
Oh,
My brother,
Appreciate
absolutely.
it.
what was the other brother's name? The brother I just met today. Smart sounding
Moves,
dude.
moves.
Moves, yo. It's a
Yeah,
pleasure
yeah,
meeting you. I hope we get to do
yeah.
something again
Same.
soon.
Oh
Pause.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And
Well,
yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
moves always around. Peace,
yeah,
Hold
yeah,
it
yeah,
down,
peace.
man.
bro.
Nice to meet
Peace.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
moves. Go ahead.
Drunken Monkey. Appreciate you
Yeah,
for
that.
coming through on short notice, real short notice.
Nah,
Yeah, that
well,
was
be
tight.
honest with you, I sent him a message and on the messenger. So I don't know
Oh, I told you, bro. You see, every time
yeah.
I leave, it's because I was trying to
No facts,
call.
facts. I see. I see what you did. Yeah, and when you posted on there too, I figured he came right there. But I sent him a message earlier. I sent him and Josh a message. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I said Josh one too.
Yeah, I think I know Drunken Monkey said he was busy today, or maybe I just sent him, maybe I didn't send him StreamYard. Maybe I just sent him the link
I
to the
said both.
chat.
Like I went behind and
Okay.
you know, he's still on.
Yeah,
I don't know if you know he's still. Well, he's not.
yeah. I don't know if he wanted. Yeah,
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
there.
cool, man.
yeah. I about to say I don't know
Say
if he wanted to be
some
on or
wild
not though.
shit while he doesn't
Word.
even know.
And stuff.
I
But
said, sit the
yeah,
fuck down.
it just crazy, bro. Like I I want to have faith in our government, and regardless of Republican or Democrat in there, I just want have faith in the people that's running it. Going to run it the right way. You know what
Let
I
me
mean?
let me say something when you finish.
Good, bro.
All right, as far I'm running with what you're saying. That's what I'm saying. When you finish, I'm
Yeah,
gonna say
yeah, good.
something. As far as the government goes, I don't think we can ever trust the government. The government will always keep things hidden. Look, look how many
Uncle
people
Jack,
had to actually get phones and shit
Uncle
for
Jack,
us.
you got your camera on, right?
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, I was looking at the bottle. Okay, cool.
Tito's.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that, but
No,
oh yeah, I see what
I'm just,
happened.
I'm just making sure ain't nobody gonna walk past the TV butt ass naked, nigga. I
Nah,
don't want to
nah,
see no
nah. Ain't
homo. You
nobody.
know what I
Yeah,
mean?
everybody gonna work. But like I'm saying, the reason why we not gonna be able to trust the government ever, let's just think about the auditors and all that. Look what these auditors go through exercising their rights. I remember back in the day, at least back in the day, up to the '90s, maybe the early 2000s, when I stopped going to school officially, you had to have some type of what's that course you had? Hunter College. You went to Hunter criminal justice. You had to have some type of criminal justice background if you didn't have a military background to be police. These police nowadays are getting hired and they don't even know the damn law.
No, they
And then
don't.
the ones who do kind of, they try to
No,
trick
bro.
you
No,
into
no.
giving up
What?
your
No,
right. So
it don't be that.
therefore, it's
It
always bull. Good.
it don't be that they don't know the law. It's just that that's the policies that they follow. That's the policies that put it forth in
But
front of
listen to
them. You know
what
what I
the
mean?
word just saying, bro.
Oh,
Policy will never ever in life trump law.
Okay, but see that's a system that we got going on right now that that is allowing every policy to be Trump, and even regular people think that policy Trump law. You know what I mean?
That's
And I
that's
say
what these
that
auditors are there
by
for,
the
I
though.
orders
That's
is
why
no,
doing
I,
it.
I
You know what I
thought,
mean?
no. The issue is that every company, every large company, and every government company in this last administration was browbeaten if they didn't create some sort of checklist to include everybody. The thing
Yeah,
of it
but
is instead of people getting hired on the merit of their work, They were hired whether with the color of their skin, the religion they believed
DEI,
in, or where they
bro.
came from.
DEI.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
exactly
yeah.
what it was, and that's the very it really tugged at the very fabric of a lot of businesses and how they function, up to and including the military. It's strange because like take for instance when trans folks were introduced to the military. Well, they just turn back the hands of time and figure out when women were
Can't
introduced
do that anymore.
into the
Just throw that
infantry.
in there.
Yeah, well, no, I understand that since this legislation, but when women were introduced to the infantry, there were a lot of pros or a lot of cons as opposed to pros, simply because women needed different treatment as opposed to men because there's
Right.
difference between the two, and it complicated the battlefield. So what they ended up, that a lot of people were concerned about it and the whole 9 yards, but what they didn't see is what they learned after deploying women into the war and doing shit that men were doing, and seeing the results then. There you got a case study right there, women in war, and we still didn't learn that when you have somebody that's trans, they could be triggered at any time, is loaded up on all kinds of meds, has doctor's appointments at all times. So, us as taxpayers, we're paying for that too. So it's like, at the end of the day, the merit of the soldier weakens at that point, and the faith, well, anyways, a lot of that has changed in that regard. But at the same time, like when you over specialize, this isn't a Ghost in the Shell. I don't know if you guys ever saw that anime way back in the day, but one of the quotes from Ghost in the Shell is, if you over specialize, you breed in weakness. If you over specialize and try to make everything perfect for everybody, that's where you start becoming weaker, because you spread yourself out too thin.
Right.
As anything, as a basketball team, if you over specialize to like the ball hog of the team, instead of being strict on the guy and teaching him temperament and leadership, you're going to say, hey, go ahead and fucking do what you can, and before you know it, you don't have a team, you
Sounds like
have one guy.
liberalism, bro. Sounds like
Yeah,
liberalism.
absolutely it is. Absolutely.
But then,
So,
so then let's think about it like this too. Since that's happening, right? And I'm putting your stuff in perspective.
yes, sir.
So that means there's a mentally ill problem inside of America, or is that a mentally ill problem inside the world? Because do we have more trans people than China?
No,
Do we have more? Do we have
I,
more trans people than
You
Russia?
mean that Asia or
no, no,
China?
no. I think
You mean Asia or
honestly,
China?
it's
It's different.
okay.
It's different.
It's simple like children. Okay,
Hold on, hold on,
if a
hold on,
child,
hold on, hold on. What you
yeah,
saying, Jackie?
You mean Asia or China? Because it's a big ass fucking difference.
Well, I'm talking about China and Pacific. I'm just talking about like
Specifically, okay,
country.
specific.
I'm talking
Okay,
about
got you.
country like country that we go against as America. You know what I mean? And I'm saying
well,
this. Go ahead, move. I want you to answer the question.
well. The thing is that transgenderism, okay, my heart goes out to somebody who is conflicted with that kind of well, I think it's called gender dysphoria. There's an actual genuine, I don't belittle
Sickness.
anybody
Yeah.
who's got I don't belittle anybody who's got
Gender
unreasonable
dysphoria.
fears for anything, if you fear
What up,
water,
Source? Hold
heights.
on. What's Source, man?
but
Balloon.
but with that being said, the
What
the
up,
thing that
Source?
I further don't appreciate is that being exploited. Anybody who's got any kind of a
Yo, hold up.
deficiency.
I'm glad you said that, moves. I'm glad you fixed yourself, because I'm just waiting to challenge anyone who said something that's just crazy. Continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
It's
hold on 1 second. We'll hold your thought. Welcome to the stage, Source Beam. What's
oh
going on,
yeah, what's up,
Source?
Sauce?
What's good, bro?
Shit, I forgot you
What
was
up,
here.
brother?
And I invited you.
Source, give us a second. Let Moose finish up what he's saying, and then I'm gonna give you the mic so you can come on and pause and say what's up.
Well, what I was saying was the unfortunate thing that happened with people who have gender dysphoria is, first off, they're very few and far between. I mean, like the likelihood of somebody
Yes.
genuinely
Damn.
like the from what I understand, the
odds
studies
of having
say,
that shit.
allegedly, that it's a very small percentage. But what they did is the LGBTQ community started seeing the attention that the transgender folks were getting, and the people with the gender dysphoria were getting, and they decided to switch up. I think there are a lot of people that are role playing in the transgender world. And this, like I said, this isn't to belittle anybody that is truly, honestly struggling with it, because it's a struggle.
3 or 4 or 5
Yeah,
thousand.
struggle to anybody is a cross to bear. I've got my cross to bear. It's pretty heavy. I'm pretty sure that's pretty heavy too. So the thing is but with that respect being given, I think it has been politicized, and I think that a lot of people used it to browbeat people, companies politically, and people on platforms and people who are on the news. I think that was used to browbeat people into submitting their vote politically to a certain level or degree. And it's really unfortunate, because that's a very conflicted side of society. The LGBTQ community is it's not without its struggle. It's not without its marginalization either. But at the same time, when you go to force those political views, or turn those feelings into political views and force those down to people's throats, that's when people are going to speak up. And are they going to be offended? Yeah, they're going to be offended, but maybe they need to be offended. You can only call somebody a Nazi or a fascist or something to that effect, and not really genuinely know
People don't
what.
even know what fascist means.
Yeah, straight the fuck up, man. I'm like,
get
if you,
the fuck out of here. You get what I'm
it's
saying?
like, dude, it's beyond reading a history book, and that's what I'm thankful about the information age, is that you can see these things illustrated. You can look up the videos from way back when, and see the holes that were dug in China to push thousands of people into these mass graves. Yeah, it's nasty. If you look deep enough, and if you fall deep enough, you'll find it. But at the same time, as the days pass by, that information, unless you know how to ask for it, is getting hidden every day. So I'll leave it at that.
I want to take 2 seconds to pat myself on the back, because I didn't know what something meant. And instead of acting like an asshole and acting like I know what it meant, I just simply said, "Hey, Moves, can you break down Marxism?" And once he said it was, I remembered what it was, because that's all I really need, because I know what these terms mean.
It's dangerous, isn't it? I mean, like, and it's
For me,
something.
it's easy. If I don't know something and you do, I don't mind asking, and that's how I'm going to uncover whether you're a dick or not. You get what I'm saying? But I'm asking genuinely. But as I'm listening, I'm thinking, this motherfucker don't know what he's talking. Or let me continue to listen, because this motherfucker knows what he's talking about. You get what I'm saying?
I had to put it in my own mind,
But once you broke it down, I got it all ripped. Like, oh yeah, that's right. Take from the damn rich simply and give to the Robin
when you start hearing terms like "eat the rich," that's where you really ought to start listening, because you'll find an inconsistency. You'll find you'll find eventually, not only does the person that's saying that devalue whatever that you worked hard for and that you earned, they're going to call that a privilege, no matter what. No matter how hard you let's say you just busted your ass for something, but at the same time, and it's your dream to own, or your dream to understand, or whatever the fuck, and you share that with somebody should be proud of what you've worked so hard for, as opposed to showing doubt and showing fucking disdain or judgment or something to that effect. And that's where I think a lot of us as Christians were taught to be guarded about that at a very young age. But at the same time, you never know. But anyways, yeah, I'm idling on. Josh got on here too, man. That's fucking cool.
What up, Josh? Give us a second, Josh. So it's being welcome back. Welcome to the stage, brother. What's going on?
Man, I just started a new job today.
Congratulations, brother.
Just came back home. Yeah,
Josh,
man.
What you said, Jackie?
I said, Josh, thanks for answering the phone.
Yeah, my bad. I fell asleep. My bad. I fell asleep and Man, my phone died. I plugged it in. It took it like 15 minutes just to turn back on.
Yeah,
But
Shoot,
I'm
your
here.
phone.
I'm here.
appreciate that, Josh. No doubt. Nah, it is what it is, brother. I mean, it happens. Yeah, Uncle Jackie don't understand the sleep part because I told her I was sleeping too. Wake me up at 7:30. I was knocked the fuck out. I got
No, I
high
don't understand.
Saturday. I
Nope.
was relaxing today, bro. Fuck that.
Man,
Facts.
I was halfway
Facts.
pissed off to be for real.
Yeah, yo, I
Like,
didn't know
man,
you
what the
called.
hell is going on?
Yeah,
Yo,
you
yo,
kept on calling. He was like, "Oh, I know." This nigga was like, "Damn, no
yo,
show today." This nigga fucked up. Got me
Like,
out.
yo, wait a
I'm
second, wait a
thinking
second.
like I done told
Wait,
all these
time out, time
people.
out, time out. I got a question. Did Source say he got a Source? Did you say you got a new job?
We're supposed to get a new job today.
Don't you got
Yeah,
like 30 jobs?
Nice.
You said you got a new job today?
yeah.
Yeah, go fucking
Oh, nice.
congratulations, yeah, fucking A, man.
Yeah, salute, bro. Salute all day.
Yeah, for real, man. That's some awesome shit, bro.
I thought
Congratulations,
Sauce had like
man.
40 jobs, I swear.
This moment, but given given the fact that I didn't focus my mind on certain things, I ended up having to work again. So now I feel human again.
I'm sorry. Welcome to the club.
Welcome to planet. Welcome to the motherfucking.
But
Welcome
not
to
for
the motherfucking
still part of the
regularity.
It got a little background coming. I guess coming from Source being. So when you not
I
on
don't
mic, so just mute up. That's
Bluetooth
all.
on. If I use the Bluetooth, it's better, but I don't think I could find it.
Yeah,
But I'll pause it when nobody else is talking.
yeah, facts. Good looking.
But I mean when when I'm not talking. I mean.
Yeah, and I understood. Yeah, Josh. Yo, Josh, we just taking and Source. We just taking the topic from off of Uncle Jackie's show. You know, the Kurt, Charlie Kirk killing. We were just talking about that. I'm gonna go around the room and ask you guys too. Do y'all believe the narrative of Tyler Robinson being the shooter? Did he get shot with that gun? And what's your opinion on the matter? And welcome to Yellow Tape.
Yeah, it's your first time. Let's go.
I mean, well, no, it's Josh's first
Yeah,
time on
Josh
the
is
show.
in here.
Yeah, Josh's
Yeah.
first time. But so it's been on here already, but just that the network back on again. That's all.
Got
Reintroducing
you.
people. You know what I mean? So what's your thought process on it? I think Josh dipped off. So what's your opinion on the matter?
Um, it to be honest, man, I only think about it when when I'm on the show.
I
after,
feel you.
after a couple of I ain't gonna front. I did go in like about spend like an hour watching clips on Charlie Kirk just to be
Yeah,
able to
facts.
the what he projected as his definition of himself and his ideology and all that. But I saw a bunch of conspiracy or if that's what people call it, but just different theories on how the death was not real or it is real. It was real this way. It was real that way. It was fake this way. It was fake that way. In the abyss of reality, that's like not even a percent of what I focus on, to be honest. So realistically, I would come.
Well, listen. The world's still going, and your life's still moving on. So
No,
I
it's out there.
understand it.
It's like I believe more in what I want to create, and what I want to create ain't about Charlie Kirk and fucking Tyler and shit. Whoever that. Look like they imposed a jawline on somebody else's face type shit. Who the fuck knows? You know what I mean? Shit,
And,
shit don't
and,
even.
and what's crazy because today I seen right before I got on the show. No, I think no before I went to sleep actually. Um, I seen on hold on a second.
And his
Oh, I muted
wife,
you, bro. What you said?
throw that in there real quick.
What you said?
His wife is
I
a
was about
rapper.
to do that too.
His wife is a whole rabbit hole in itself. Just to
Oh
like, just to
yeah, yeah,
there's some,
yeah.
at that point, would I even invest? If you invest 5 minutes, Charlie Kirk's wife, right? And just be like Charlie Kirk's wife history, and just let it lay out on Google or whatever, right? It's just a bunch of, and then they'll check out some video. It's just a bunch of
Oh
badness, and
man,
but
you gotta
Waking
repeat
up like
that
the
because you
Jackson
go in and
brother.
out. They trying to
said,
stop you from talking.
Yeah,
yeah,
the FBI's listening to
Now
this
they're
shit.
not gonna stop this shit. Now I'm gonna find the video I got and I'm gonna donate it to the cause. You ain't stopping shit.
it's like, every as soon as you look up the wife and all that, it's like, damn, she was here, she was there, she connected to this, she connected to that, she did this. There's this allegation here from other people from another country and this and that. And it's like
Yep.
that's just 5 minutes, right? Because I be clocking.
Wait, that's how long?
Yeah,
Five
yeah,
minutes.
That's
I'm
how
not
long?
summarizing a whole bunch of like things. I ain't giving details because it's like it's like it's like
But
damn, like all right, maybe it's true or maybe it's not. Fuck it, I got money to make shit and responsibilities and shit in the media, but it's just like, man, these motherfuckers. It's like they exist to fuck with you, man, just by existing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Let me know. Just
yeah,
let me know. I'm set up already. Just let me know.
it's a whole drama just for you to unveil, just so for what? You know what I mean, man? You might as well just come up with magic and
you know what? Trump said it himself. You're right. Trump said it himself. It's what's it? Central casting. He's always quoted as saying central casting, and we got a great show for you. We've got all these people that all the greatest people and all the greatest people to be on stage. He always alludes to this imagery of what they're doing as some type of show. It's
I
hard to say
mean,
that.
people don't really.
You don't really have a choice in what the episode is. You just have to sit back and watch. Yeah, I think you're right, Source. I think you're on the line there.
People don't realize we live in eternity, right? And that's the problem. Most people don't understand that. They think it's a concept. They don't realize that we actually live in eternity. The thing you call heaven, the ever after. That's what it is right now. That's where we at. But
give,
some people,
give,
because they don't understand that, right? They need to believe in all this goofy shit. And as much as you could radiate as an individual,
Learn
no,
something.
they just did it in the way. So it's like eventually, you gotta just like stop giving them energy by even thinking about them, and they'll blow up or they'll die in a fucking Antifa something or some shit. A riot might happen. Just
all
goofy
right,
people.
I
Uncle
love
Who's
the
that?
fact that the world
Uncle
is
Jackie
hard
going
to
throwing a clip for us about Charlie Kirk wife. You ready, Uncle Jack?
about food for thought. It's almost 3 minutes, but it's if you ask me, shit is worth it.
I forgive him.
That's the start of it. I'm sorry.
And the nominees are no.
And then JD
Hey, WB, I think it was.
Erica Kirk was introduced to Charlie Kirk through Donald Trump. She had been procured for like Donald Trump's pageants. She won like Miss Arizona or something. She was literally a registered actress and starred in a reality TV show, a romance.
Don't say I didn't love you, my nigga.
That's one in that. He met her on a trip to Israel. Charlie met her on one of these wall humping trips. So the Israeli connections, and then JD Sharp doing in Israel. Well, she was on a pilgrimage. Okay. Yeah. And then I just learned JD Sharp, Jason Dick, the founder of Uncensored AI, just told me that her dad, Eric Kirk's dad, is one of the founders or creators of
Of the
Raytheon
vets in
Israel.
Israel.
Raytheon Israel creates weapon systems and defense systems like the Iron Dome, right? And soaks up trillions of, collectively billions of U.S. taxpayer dollars over the course course of the last, however many decades, billions of dollars annually.
From what I understand, Erica Kirk's father formed Raytheon Israel's division and was the former chairperson / president. I believe he's retired now, but he was actively involved in that particular operation.
That's ridiculous. All of these connections. They had the custody of Charlie Kirk's body in the custody of J.D. Vance aboard some private jet, going to God knows where. And within 24 hours, Erica Kirk is releasing this propaganda video of Charlie Kirk's hand and the rings and the I love you and the crying and the sobbing.
That young man. I forgive him.
She's solidifying the narrative that he's guilty. No matter what, about a court appearance, anything else, that resonated with every Christian because they're supposed to be forgiving.
Yeah.
And that just subliminally, subconsciously, or very overtly put, he's guilty, he did it, he's responsible, but Erica forgives him. And now she's the champion of TPUSA to come rushing in, building all of these other extensions and satellite different clubs all over the place.
Well, they're basically trying to build her up to be the next president. They're essentially seeing like, hey, this is a woman that we could set up maybe in 8 to 12 years.
Yeah. Well, they then will be able to just solidify this Judeo-Christian, alliance, and that Israel was great, and that Charlie loved the Jews, and all these things, while completely disregarding the 5 weeks, leading up to his death, where he began to actually ask about this and plan out this occupation.
My friend was shot in the neck, and I'm just not really in the state right now to be polite when it comes to the answers that I am demanding, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I could stop it. It's 1 minute. If y'all want me to keep going, it's 1 minute.
What's that?
It's Candace Owens' video.
You can break Candace Owens.
Oh, that's a lot to
Yeah, I love
can't open up already.
Hey, keep y'all comments about Candace Owens to yourselves.
Yeah, straight up, man. That's my girl right
I got
there.
muted last time. I got muted last time.
Hey, guess what? It's not my channel, but I still got the power. Let's not play with me.
She hot though.
Threats, lawsuits, contracts, lawyers. I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. Truly, I am done. I'm done, okay? I'm done. That's it. It took Charlie Kirk dying for me to literally, I want you to know, F you. Truly, I mean that. I don't care. I'll expose everything. You guys who are watching know what I know. So tell the truth. Just tell the truth for once in your miserable lives. I need to calm down.
Calm down, baby. Calm down.
Friend was shot in the neck.
Let's stop playing. All right, that's enough. Her friend was shot in the neck. She ain't appreciate that. We don't appreciate that.
Nope.
That's all I'm gonna say about that. What's going on? Why the hell is everybody gone? Hold up. Let me use my power. No, hold up. No. I got to use my powers, man. There you go.
Hey, am I supposed to be talking?
There you go. I appreciate everybody being respectful while the second lady of my life, excuse me, I'm sorry. I love my wife. While the second lady of my life was talking, I appreciate y'all being quiet. And I'm proud of myself. The second lady of my life is a black woman. Usually it's a Spanish woman like Sofia Vergara, some shit like that. But I love you, Candy.
we definitely appreciate the video.
I love you, Candy.
And like you said, so it's being 5 minutes of you looking up that lady name, you going down a big rabbit hole. You know what I mean?
Yes, you will. That algorithm is real, bro.
And as Uncle Jackie just mentioned, that was just only a piece of it that they didn't mention, where the country that she was at with, with the tadpoles, with the kids, you know what I mean, and dealing with orphanage over there and kids being missing over there. You know what I mean? So
you talking about IHOP?
No, I'm talking about Charlie Kirk, Erica Kirk. She was
Oh
over
yeah,
there in
yeah.
Romania, doing like she had a nonprofit over there, and she was dealing with kids, and kids ended up missing over there, or being she had a brothel inside on a government base, and
Right.
it was bringing girls to the base. The whole big thing behind it once you go down that rabbit hole, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think just about every public speaker has got this rabbit hole that's been designed for them at this point. You know, it's
No,
not.
no, no. But
I'm not
now when you're
saying
dealing with kids, when you deal with kids, and there's a lot of pedophilia stuff
okay, okay.
going on,
So,
bro.
hold that thought for a moment. You know, okay, kids are mentioned. You know, the very second the kids mentioned, you and me. I mean, we get fucking fired up. I don't like harm to a child in any way, shape, or form. So, but at the same time, I got to ask myself: is that being used to manipulate me? Is it being used to gaslight me and to swaying me one way or another? And I'm not going to lie. At first, there was the Pizzagate and
And that, but that,
Frazzle Drip, and I thought to myself, you know what, dude? You know, most of the film or most of the recording is kind of grainy. It's not there really accurately. It could be easily faked, or it could easily be mocked, or something to that effect. Doctored, you name it, and um, that's where I really kind of took a step back, because then all of a sudden, once Trump gets into the office, there is a dozen rabbit holes all of a sudden that pop up about Trump that did not come up before his election. And it's like, dude, if this existed before his election, then all of this stuff would have surfaced already. You know, it would have surfaced before anybody went to the voting booths. It would have swayed, the voters and that kind of thing. And you can't.
no, because you know why? Because we thinking right and left. That our mind is not being focused on the people that's in the middle running the shit. You know what I mean?
No, but
Because
Trump was the closest
because
thing to the middle.
because if they want Trump inside there, so they could they know he's able to push the agenda that they want, and he's going to push his own agenda as well. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
but you could push your agenda as well as that, because you have a front face that could do it. Then you want to run with it, and that goes with having Democrats up there too. And like you said,
yeah,
if anything bad was against Trump on the F file, it would have came out. But what it is, it's too many people that's above that. You know what I mean? Remember, the president is just the president. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Republicans are just Republicans. They everyday people. They could get replaced. Every 4 years we replace the president. But we still have congressmen. We still have people that lobby that we lobby for to have inside in Congress, that we give money to. You know what I mean? That money is being floated to one way. It's not being floated to Russia. It's not being floated to Africa. It's being funneled to one way. So it's being
yeah.
funneled to one way. Are we as Americans taking care of ourselves and putting ourselves in position, or are we having an ally with another country where we're gonna form with another country that's in another part of the world?
That's another thing too. They speak of adding Greenland or adding Canada or adding Mexico. A lot of that talk stopped, and I'm wondering what's happening in the background as far as those things are concerned. Like those things that this is why I don't get caught up into um, uh, looking at things, on as society, looking at things on an emotional level. I can't at this point, But at the same time, when when something like Charlie Kirk happens, and that extreme takes place, I'm not going to blame one side or the other right off the bat. I'm gonna think conspiracy at first, and if I'm thinking conspiracy, those details are going to be coming to me belated. I'm looking at fuck, yeah, Kennedy, JFK was assassinated. What was it? Fucking at least 10 years before I was even born, and I had to wait this long to get this little of information. So like I've reached a point now where okay, if I need to wait, another 30 years to get the truth out of this shit, which I doubt because it's an entirely different generation now. It's the generation of knowing, and it's a generation of information. So, there's no excuse for not being able to pass one knowledge or
Okay.
truth to the other.
Okay, I sent y'all a video. I sent Josh video, and I sent everybody a video but Source Bean. That's the only person that didn't see the video. So okay, just a question also. I like asking questions. Um, if that sniper shot Charlie Kirk with that gun, where's the
Blood.
why no not blood. The blood is obvious. That's an obvious question. You know what I mean? No drips and no nothing. But where it like, they saying the bullet got stuck in his neck. Wait, do y'all think that's possible?
That's what I'm saying. It's so many different people saying so many things. Like they had the expert sniper from
That's
the
what I'm about to say.
military, the black guy
Yeah,
with the dreads, if y'all seen him. And he was saying like certain things were impossible. Then you had someone else from ballistics, and you got this report from ballistics, and you got that report, and it's like, yo, WTF, bro? Like, which one is the one I'm supposed to listen to? So I don't know. That's why I keep saying I don't know, man. I don't want to sit there and go out on a limb and and say, hey, this, that, and the third, and I don't know.
Yeah,
But I
you know
know
what?
they did a good job of making Erica look fugazi, allegedly. I'm just gonna say that just
Well,
to say it.
you
So
know
I
what?
don't know.
I just came up with another kind of idea too, man. If there's a current investigation, right, and we're thinking like, high tech, okay, so they can ping every phone that was in that amphitheater there, okay. So what they do is, if I was an FBI agent, I was thinking like, okay, if I'm investigating, and what I would do is I would go to the phone company, ask for every phone that was there during that day, and then I'm sending an agent to each and every one of their houses to interview them, have that fucked up plug-in, so the agent there can plug their phone in, download everything onto a laptop. Thank you very much, and analyze whatever photo coverage that they have of that day. So then, like you multiply that times like a couple of thousand people, and that's a lot of homework. So if you're going to go through and you're going to analyze all of that shit, then for exactly where you can go to a court and say, hey, we can find, we found every phone that was in the crowd, and this is every phone that shows the shooter, and this is where the bullet comes from, this is how you got, this is how this took place, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, step by step.
After I say this, we're gonna go to Josh. My thing is this: they had a camera that is facing outward towards the crowd. That camera would have the shooter. If it was a sniper right there, I mean, it wouldn't have it. You wouldn't have Charlie Kirk, the whole video of Charlie Kirk, because he fell. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't aiming down; it was aiming out. Um, so you would have that photo of the shooter. You know what I mean? But somehow Charlie Kirk's security team or Turning Point USA people took that thing. So we ain't never gonna see that until someone else get it. But we're gonna go with Josh, and I want Josh to if you've seen the video to you can reply off the video and give me your comments on if you think Charlie Kirk's shooter was a shooter and things of that nature. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, what you call it? I don't think that. Of course, you know that Tyler Robinson is not the shooter. You know what I mean? Everybody knows that. What you call it? The point that the FBI has to do this, you know what I mean, shows that like it's something like sketchy going on. You know what I mean? Like honestly, they got us going in circles. I feel like they're pulling a trick, you know what I mean? Because we all know who did it, we all know why they did it. And and like everybody's talking about it, you know, and like my thing is like, what are we gonna do about it? You know, we're able to like they stand up for the what you call it, the what is the name of that one restaurant?
IHOP.
No, it's another restaurant that they changed their sign and everybody protested
Cracker
and
Barrel.
Cracker Barrel, and everybody protested and stopped going there. You know what I mean? So like, if we just if people could stick together and protest that, and like we could stick together to make Netflix lose $15 billion. You know what I mean? Then what you call it? Why we can't stick together, like, you know what I mean, to like take care of matters like this so we could prevent it from happening in the future.
Right. You're right. But it's so many divisions in between, and I mean, like I think something like this could bring the world a lot closer, and it will open eyes to that, especially how the FBI is fumbling this right now. Like they really fumbling this case with a lot of people, making a fuss out of it. One, and then not only a lot of people making a fuss out of it, because it's different when you have the internet investigated. When you got Candace Owen digging deep, you know what I mean? And Candace Owen that was her, as the video said, that was
Pause.
her brother, you know what I mean? But well, Candace Owen digging deep. You know what I mean? That's something different. I don't know. I don't like that, but some people may like that. You know what I mean? But
Right.
but
I mean, what you call it? I mean, like, for them to have the audacity to just like give us some bullshit that they're giving us, you know what I mean? Just shows that that's like a slap in the face. You know what I mean? That's like
but
saying like y'all gonna accept this shit and y'all can't do nothing about it.
Now, let me ask a question real quick.
yeah.
Josh, well, Josh probably did. Well, I'm gonna ask everybody. Everybody ever ate at Cracker Barrel? Of course, I have.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's one in Kentucky. I know there's not in New York or New Jersey.
I
No, but
won't
I
eat
had
there
Cracker
again.
Barrel.
I can
had
say I won't eat there again.
Nah, I just want to know in
I
the
ate
first
there
place,
once.
I ate there a few times myself. You know what I mean? It's not all that to me. Like, so it was not. I didn't even know about the boycott. I just know it wasn't really much to me. So it was like, I wasn't going there anyway. I was going to a spot called Martin's for breakfast shit, but that's neither here nor there. I just wanted to know, because we all in different regions. Fucking Sauce is all the way on the west. Doc is all the way up north. I'm all the way down south, and y'all are Midwest. So it's like,
Well, I'll tell you what. We're in Kentucky. We got Cracker Barrel here, and
I know you do.
I've never eaten at a Cracker Barrel. I have not had
You don't want to.
fast food. I haven't had
You're
fast
missing
food.
nothing.
Yeah, I'm not. I had like, dude, I've had McDonald's fries. I've had the bacon ultimate cheeseburger from fucking Carl's Jr.
All I have
No,
is
none
checkers.
of that shit. And
Checkers.
the crazy part about it is like, I saw this video. it's you ever wonder how in the world they can always say the jingle, to all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese. He says it's because the company pays or went and created another company. McDonald's made it another company, allegedly, named All Beef. So that's how they could put 30% soy in all of their patties and still on the commercials have 2 all beef patties because they are literally
The
from a
FDA
company
allows
called
that type of
All
shit,
Beef.
though. As long as you have
So
a
2
certain
all beef
percentage,
patty.
you
So
can
the very
call it.
second I heard that, man, I was like, no, there's no way I'm going back to fast food in any way, shape, or form. And I kid you not, it's a big difference, man. Like,
Like I was just saying, bro, the FDA allows that shit. Like they allow a certain amount of insects and allow a certain amount of debris, whatever you want to call it, nasty shit that makes it into food.
Not only that, it's made by the lowest bidder. Okay, that's exactly. I'm sorry, I hate to put it this way, but
no.
the folks that apply and work at these folks, they're often working 2 jobs. They're pretty desperate to make a dollar, which is why they not only work just one job they'll work a fast food joint and something else. and even managers on top of that because of the inflation and shit like that. But at the same time, it's like fucking, oh man, it's all of the ingredients are made by the lowest bidder. The
Yeah,
the
but our
food quality
government
itself.
allow
You
it.
go to the grocery store.
That's our government allowing it. Like, cause if you go to England, the same cereal that they sell ain't gonna have the same ingredients that they have in America.
Hell
So,
no.
Facts.
is our government allowing it? And again, I'm all for
Slap in
certain
our
things when
face.
I'm all things with what you know President Trump was trying to do, coming here and changing the board of education. 'Cause look at our system. Our system ain't educating nothing, ain't getting ready, getting our youth ready for the future,
No.
and never have. You know what I mean? Um, the health department hasn't cured nothing in over 40 or 50 years. You know what I mean?
Until now.
Like
Until
like
now.
like it's just crazy that they give us medicine not to take us, not to take us off our problem. You know what I mean? That medicine that they give us, it soothes our problem, and then give us more problems, give us more what you call it, side effects. You know what I mean? That we gotta take another
Oh,
some more medicine. So the big pharma is also a problem. You know what I mean? It's just different entities that we put into place that I have issues with, that's there getting money and not doing their proper dues for we the people.
yeah, that's why I don't even bother with fast food companies at all. I go to the grocery store,
But
and it's made by me.
it's not just fast food.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Is what the if you eat pork, is
It's
what the pig
in
is
it.
eating. You know what I mean? If you
Also,
eat beef,
also,
is what the cows is eating. Go ahead, Josh.
exactly that too, and also like it's crazy because even if you shop at Walmart or you know what I mean, like they got so many products that are like what you call it, like I forgot the name for it, but like the stuff is not good for you. You know what I mean? And
Have
what you
a
call
lot
it?
of byproducts.
Yeah,
Well,
Nah,
there'll
you
be
nah,
eight.
nah. You gotta
There'll
go
be
ahead, Josh.
20.
I'm gonna go after
Yeah.
you. I'm gonna go after you. I'm gonna go
you
after you,
could
Josh.
go
Go
you
ahead.
could go to the grocery store and still buy stuff and like the stuff you buy in the grocery store is still bad for you. You know what I mean? Like the stuff that they
Hmm.
selling us is like designed to keep us to go to the hospital so we could go ahead and pay a bill there. You know what I mean? So like everything
Hmm.
is
Yep.
No, that's a fucking sweet fucking conspiracy theory too, because that's real. It's like it's
Hmm.
a big ass thing to make a circle.
designed to keep
Uh,
us going and giving the money.
yeah, to
You know,
keep us, spending money for this, then this happens to you, so you got to spend money for that. I see what Josh is saying.
Yep.
Now, I was leaning somewhere. I'm talking about something different. So no, I agree with you, Josh, with what you're saying. I agree with that thought. That's a beautiful thought because that keep money in certain entities' pockets, and it's a cycle for the poor or the person who doesn't see what's going on. Now, for
hmm
me, being in Georgia, I am so fucking glad I moved down here, bro. Now, I'm not gonna say no companies. This ain't my platform, so I'm not gonna say the
oh my
company's name.
bad, bad.
But it was an A1 company, bro. And then I found out that A1 company breaks into two. If the even the secondary company, it's the same fucking product. I'm not gonna say what it
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
so bear
Yeah.
with me. It's the
But
same fucking product,
but
and it's
Yep.
it's one company, but split into they split that one product into two. So you sit here,
Yeah.
you pay fucking $30 this way, but you
yeah,
can sit here and get the same
facts.
exact.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Let,
Let
that's
me
the fuck.
let me
No,
ask
no,
you
no,
this.
but hold
hold
up.
on.
That
Let me
wasn't
put
the
on.
point.
Yeah.
Let me
That
ask
wasn't
you.
the point. The
Oh.
point was when I was working, I can sit here and say it wasn't on purpose. I accidentally sabotaged the product. I don't want to get specific because it's real, and if shit pick up, I
Yeah.
mean, we gonna get in
Okay.
trouble. So I
Yeah.
accidentally sabotaged the product, and I wanted to discard it. I wanted to discard the product because I sabotaged it. It's fucked to me. And to anybody else who was in my position, pause. This product is done. I cannot do anything. Do not give this to the people. Now, listen, I was told here, do A, B, and C and put that bitch back on the line. And
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
my my third and last day working there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, bro. 'Cause
Okay.
I
Okay.
use
So
the
were you?
fucking
Let me
product,
ask
bro.
you.
I
Let me
use the
ask.
product. I
Let me
use
ask
the
you.
fucking product.
Let me ask you this. Did were you dealing with a particular allergen?
No, it wasn't an allergen. It was just a disgusting gin. Yeah, bro. It was a disgusting gin. That was a disgusting
Disgusting.
gin, bro.
Oh, my imagination.
Like if we wasn't online, bro, I would tell y'all, mother. I would say what it is because I told the story, especially after the day happened.
Dude, I
But
can
if we were
imagine.
offline, I would fucking happily tell you, motherfuckers, what the fuck was up.
It's like,
Oh man.
let me give you an example.
That's
It's like, I'm gonna give you an example. It's like Moves having a farm, right? He raised chickens and cows and everything on there. That farm goes to the market and sells his item. He goes to the local markets and sell it, and then you got Walmart. You got Walmart. We got the Walmart brand coming to you. You have
Great value.
another brand coming to you and another brand coming to you, and they all sell the same chicken. You know what I mean? And like Uncle Jackie just said, um, they the same, coming from the same person, but just under different branding. You know what I mean? You just getting different quality, just different branding, different prices, but they coming from the same farm.
Same
And
shit.
this and they tell you that when this outbreaks happen, that it came from this farm and under this brand with this number, with this lot code and this, that, third. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
what are we paying different prices for this product that's coming from the same farm? You understand what I'm
Well,
saying?
no, okay,
You are
okay. Now
getting manipulated.
this is the hard change that a lot of people that don't realize that that's going to have to come in order to defeat these gigantic supermarkets like Alpha Beta or Kroger or whatever, right? Or even local big supermarkets like your Dollar Generals are popping up all over the place. They have a produce area, they got a meat area, they got a dairy area, and all of that shit.
Depending on where you are.
Oh,
Depends on
well,
where you are.
yeah,
They
yeah.
ain't got
It
that
depends.
shit in New York.
It depends on how you where you are, but at the same time, they come fully loaded, if you will. So,
Yeah,
okay,
they
so
will.
at that point, like that, dude, your power is in your spending dollar. Okay, what I mean by that is that you don't have to go to Dollar General and because it's right down the road from you, or it's cheaper, or it's both. It's right down the road and cheaper. The thing is that you create a small community, like you have, like this community here is just a little over 1,000 people, but there are folks that don't pay for eggs. There are
What you
folks that
call
don't.
it? You want to know why?
Well,
You
they
want
don't.
to know why that they? Do you want to know why they take seeds out of the food? So
Oh,
you can't grow
absolutely.
it.
So you won't be
You
able to
can't
grow
grow
it.
it yourself.
Exactly. So we've already managed to create generations of food in the whole 9 yards in our small community, and it can be done too. That's another thing that they're kind of afraid of you to figure out. But at the same time, there's a lot of work involved. So you'll have
There's some
one person.
places. There's
You'll
some
have
places
like.
you can't even get your own. You can't even catch your own rainwater.
Well, but at the same time, dude, there are there are states like Kentucky that don't give a fuck. They'll collect their own water. They'll raise their own rabbits, chickens, geese, you name it, man. The crazy part about it is the world is your oyster if you know how to organize and get along with each other. But the thing of it is, in a little society like that, you get your nose rubbed the wrong way at somebody, and guess what? You don't have eggs for like a month. So you can have to be nice, you have to be civil and the whole 9 yards, and be friendly and be neighborly and loving and caring and that kind of thing. But that's why that community works. It's because of the love and because of the support. But that love and support is over a period of time. You really got to put your time in, and realize that what you're doing is bigger than you, and before you know it, your table's bountiful. You got a roof over your head. You have means that your kid get an education without getting too crazy, and you also have peace of mind too. The cops out here, they'll die for the peace that they want to keep here. So like nobody fucks around. Nobody really truly fucks around.
Yeah, guys, make sure y'all hit the like, sub, and share button. Thanks for tuning in. We out here talking our talk. You know what I mean? It's called Outspoken, and we out here speaking our minds. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just ridiculous, bro. And I just think that the government has a lot to do with the faulty of, just like okay, that it was nothing on the topic, but we are talking government. Look at what they did with the vaccines. They stopped making kids get the herpes vaccines. You know what I mean? And then get the measles and rubella separate and not have it at the same thing. And I kind of think that one way or another that the immunization had something to do with autism and us acting how we acting. Because our body chemicals or the baby body chemicals wasn't ready to intake this type of thing. You know what I mean? And not just only that, but also the food that we eat too. You know what I mean? The microplastics that we eat and all that stuff, bro. That plays a lot into everything. You know what I mean?
No,
Our
absolutely. I can agree
our
with you more.
government is not for the people. We need to somehow, you know, um, get back our government, get back our food, get back our structure, get back our homeland, man. Because if we got foreign affairs or foreign people running around doing whatever the fuck they want on our land or doing it with our, conspiring, you know what I mean? There's a problem because there's a conflict of interest because it's not entering, it's not having the best interest of the people, bro. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying that people on the panel, we the people, but we make up we the people, and our thoughts, like I said, is no different than everybody else's thoughts. If you got logic, sense.
Well, yeah, that's assuming everybody's got logic sense, bro. You and me, or, everybody on the panel here, man. Yeah, we got sense. God gave us a screwdriver, but at the same time, not everybody is born with that. But at the same time, they're not to be shunned or shamed or anything. But at the same time, it's like they do complicate the way everybody gets along.
I just think we failed to deal with the mental illness that we have in America. Um, we took money away because one set of group wanted to put money towards it, and not only that, but when a lot of times when these bills is passed too, it passed with a top face of X, Y, and Z being the forefront of the bill being passed, and then under it has a whole bunch of other stuff that shouldn't get passed with the bill. You know what I mean? Like we got to do
Yeah.
better in that process of when we need to pass law or pass certain things that's good, that need to be passed, that we do it in the efficient way and don't have to rely on, one group or another group. We gotta agree. You know what I mean? Like it just bugged out, bro.
Oh, absolutely. It's like take for instance, the Dr. Peter McCullough. He's done a ton of research. He's published a lot of stuff in the American Medical Journal, and um, you know, the, it for him to be silenced during COVID, he was like a voice that was kind of contradictory to what Fauci was saying, and before you know it, he was banned off of LinkedIn, he was banned off of YouTube and Facebook, and why, and nobody, unless you're in that field, really particularly know who Peter McCullough is, or Dr. Peter McCullough is, or Robert. Yeah,
Pause for one
sure.
second, but just like how back when COVID was coming out and all that was coming out, we had the internet investigators saying that this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, and everybody was being blacked out, red flagged, and all that. Now go ahead. The same thing with this Charlie Kirk thing. We all seeing what's going on. We pointing fingers, and now we being red flagged and held up. And back with the COVID thing, they had to remember they had fact finders at one point in time, fact checkers, you know what I mean? Like the fuck you fact checked and then a lot of shit that you coming back with, your shit was wrong fucking 6 months later, you know what I mean? But go ahead, moves. Go ahead with it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, the dangerous part was that they were taking some of the most practiced individuals when it came, and it's when it comes down to any particular field that could be politicized. And if there was anything that can't be politicized, is something like an epidemic or a pandemic. And they did. They politicized the shit out of it. There are people that that lost their fucking jobs after 5, 10, 15, 25, 30 years because they didn't want to take an experimental drug. And like that, they just wanted, you know, it, it, as soon as you start seeing those freedoms and you know, like for a layman like me, dude, I'm just blue collar, so like I'll find another job. I got skills. I can use my hands. It won't. I will. If my job tomorrow said, "Hey, it's mandatory for you to take the vaccine and be updated," I could leave tomorrow, and within the next day or so, have myself another job at another place, and I'd have to start all over. But if push come to shove, I'd have to be able to do it, and I am able to do it. But the thing of it is like if you're in a career type of situation where you're like a fucking, let's say you're an plane pilot and you've been flying for this company for for the past 20-25 years, you're planning on retiring in a couple of years, and you're worked really hard for like what, $4,000 to $8,000 a month while sitting on your ass retired. And then all of a sudden, they're saying, "Hey, inject yourself into this shit," and you've got to say no. You got to go find another fucking flight job that's going to allow you to the choice, the absolute choice that you were born with. You were born with this choice to say yes or no.
Or you're going to say yes and then give yourself 2 years because you're going to believe that the government is telling you the right information, and then you wait your 2 years to get your retirement, and when you get 2 years, you get your retirement. So and then after that, you fucked up in the game because you don't know the long-term effect of this thing. But it affect
short-term effects.
It did. Hold on. It did affect people that had experience that was in jobs too. But now just imagine how it affected the young generation, the generation that was in school, the generation that walked around with math for a year, 2 years. How it affected the people that wanted to socialize, that were used to socializing, you know what I mean? But couldn't socialize no more because they had to show a vaccine card to get into certain places, you know what I mean? All places, not even certain places, all places.
Let's talk about one particular place, which is the IHOP. During COVID at IHOP, there was a study because IHOP was the entire country was vaccinated. It's kind of like Italy. But anyways, the entire country was vaccinated, and they did a study on myocarditis among the vaccinated people. And where they found myocarditis the most, which is it's an expansion of the heart, and it's not natural. It's not good. It can be fatal at times, especially if you're athletic. But nevertheless, they found myocarditis in males between 16 and 18 years old. Males between 16 and 18 years old had a 62 to 68% chance, 62 to 68% chance, not a 50-50 chance, a 62 to 68% chance of getting myocarditis. So that's what right there, that study alone. And I don't know where it went. I don't know why every news platform, I wasn't boistering it all over the place, but nevertheless, yeah, that was absolutely true. I was like, well, why am I going to take this? There's no way. This is before, maybe right after the first booster, I think. Yeah, I think it was right after the second round of shots. And yeah, there was a study over in IHOP, and if I'm lying, I'm dying.
It's just odd, and I mean, it changed the outlook. It fed among them people, and as me, growing and getting years on this earth, I'm starting to see a lot of things that being played out that that would never have played out anywhere else in the world, or or it was like not unnatural disasters type of things. You know what I mean? Like things that could could have been prevented, or things that look like it should have been prevented, and certain things wasn't taken into place. Like for instance, the Charlie Kirk thing, the Charlie Kirk assassination, that that was a crime scene.
No, did
You know, that crime scene got 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 all types of it
man.
never got shut
They
down. You know what I
paved.
mean? To like an
They
hour
paved
after
over
the
it.
fact,
They
they
paved
paved
over it.
over it. They did a whole
They got
remake of
they
the
got
job.
rid of the
Like
Dairy Queen. They got rid of
like
the Dairy Queen
like everything is so
that the
crazy.
dude was seen that.
Hmm it's just so crazy that and then what Move said at the beginning of the show, you know,
There's
something
no
about pinging the cell phone towers. Like if that dude
percent.
traveled 4 hours, 3 hours from where he came from in the morning time to go 8 o'clock, you would have his cell phone pinging off several towers coming from where he did, and the government not showing none of that. You know what I mean? And and now it's saying that, you know, there's a whole bunch of things being said, and
I sent
when it's
Uncle Jackie what you call it a video um what what you call it, like the dude Charlie Kirk, he has no autopsy, you know what I mean, like there's
yeah.
no like there's a bunch of stuff like they didn't go over, you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
this
Well,
is
well,
it's
I,
just
well, I heard the note autopsy coming from he's heavy religious. You know what I mean. So they chose not to do it in that aspect, as far as messing up the body type of thing, and going back to God type of thing. So I can understand that in a sense. You know what I mean.
no
But but
coroner
you know. I mean, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back to you right now, Josh. But I want to put you, give this little thought
report,
too.
no church funeral, no no funeral, what you call it, no grave site, no death certificate.
Oh, see, I don't know about the death certificate stuff, but yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
dude. Well, you know what tells
Like
me? You know what the crazy part about it is? You know what it tells me? It tells me that they know. They know exactly what took place. They know who's culpable. They're investigating whoever they're investigating, and they're going to tell us whenever they decide. I honestly believe that. I think the the information that they know right now, or the very second, it might even be the very second that he was shot. They knew exactly who it was, how maybe not how it was planned, but they
no,
knew who it was.
no,
And
no,
but dude,
no,
how can you say? How you immediately say no when he
no.
publicly said that he had a problem with fucking IHOP?
He said that, but
exactly.
ain't nobody else
That's what
saying
it's
that.
about.
Ain't nobody
It's
else
the
is
that's what
saying
it's
that.
everybody
Does
else is
Who's
everybody
agreeing
else
with
is
that
saying.
narrative? Who agreeing with that narrative that he said that, and
Dude,
besides
who else is
Candace
gonna get?
Owens?
Who else is gonna get 150 million from IHOP?
There's a lot of people on
No,
X. There's a
Dude,
lot of people on X Twitter that's saying that.
yeah,
There's a
no,
dude.
lot of
but
people
How
on
in
I'm
the
X
saying,
Twitter
world?
saying that.
no. I'm saying now they saying that because the narrative is that. I'm not saying that it didn't happen. Yeah, 'cause I believe it happened. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying that the government gonna run with the narrative. Who said that? Like, where's that?
Dude,
You see what you see what the prime minister came out and said. He came out and said that Charlie Kirk was his friend. He loved IHOP. You know what I mean? He loved eating
yeah,
there. You know, pause.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what he said. And Charlie Kirk did like him. You know what I mean? But then did
I'm gonna go
wasn't
back.
mushy
I'm
with
gonna go
him
back to
like
my
that,
phone.
bro.
I'm gonna go back
Whoa,
to my phone
whoa.
because this keeps freezing. I'll be back. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
back to my phone.
All right. All right, Josh. So is but this thought is this, and Josh, hopefully you listening. If you didn't hear it, just come back and let me know. Um, they said the gun was put back into place, right?
Yeah.
After he disassembled and put back and came back down and reassembled. But let me ask you this: when when the thing was reassembled, you know what was in there? The spent cartridge, the spent shell. You're not gonna undo a gun and then take out that spent shell and put it back inside of a gun that you put in the part that you putting the shells back in there. You understand what I'm saying?
Maybe you'll leave it there. Maybe you'll pick it up.
Nah, you would interject all of that if you dismantling the gun.
Yeah.
This
Where
type of
would you
gun, this
put the
type
empty
of gun,
shell? I would put it back in the car in the magazine.
this type of gun that you have to
Yeah,
like
but see, the thing of it is like I don't believe that the kid. I don't believe that the rifle was used. I don't believe anything that the video is or isn't telling us. A lot of this is speculation. Not only that, it's subject matter to AI manipulation,
They
and
got us
I don't
going
have
in a
the
runaround. Listen, because
exactly
they
there.
can't say who did it. They can't
Yeah,
say who did it
exactly,
because they know
exactly.
who runs them. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So they can't say who did it. So they got a whole dummy running around, and they think that people are gonna believe that when they know that nobody believes that, and everybody knows who did it. But they
yeah.
can't do anything about it because they run them.
Think about it this way. Like think about it like a mafia, okay? And now that's sort of kind of it, but let's say you've got let's say the Trump family or the Trump mafia includes the Charlie Kirk family, okay? And Charlie Kirk is like a lieutenant, okay? He's like a capo or whatever. And all of a sudden, Trump goes to make a deal and he flexes, and then all of a sudden, boom, like the hand of God, Kirk goes down. All right. So at that point, if you're in Trump's camp, you are fucking spooked. I don't care who you are, what you're about. One of the guys that is considered a moderate, he may say some offensive shit, but in comparison to most right wingers or conservative folks, the Republicans, conservative Republicans, he is very moderate. He is not,
This dude,
he's courteous. He when he talks to people, he doesn't like, he does. He's condescending sometimes, but at the same time, he's done.
there's a video
He's a
of
soft
this
one.
guy, of the guy, what you call it, Yahoo, right? There's a
Yeah.
video. There's a video of him sending out threats saying that there's technology that could take people out. Now
Yeah.
they already talking about that the mic is what did it. You know what I mean? And what you call it, now he's publicly saying that there's technology that you can use. You know what I mean? To take a
Yeah.
person out.
can I
Oh,
just say this
shit.
too?
Yeah.
Because listen. That you got okay. If it was a gun, and they saying that the bullet is inside him, and it's a 30 art gun, that bullet's not inside him. You know what I mean? The bullet that they're going to show us, or whatever the case may be, if they showed us already, which I don't think they did, that's going to not going to be a gun. That's not going to be the same bullet. I mean, that entered Charlie Kirk's body. You understand? Because his whole face, his whole neck was supposed to be off his shoulders. But I am glad that it wasn't. I don't know who.
Yeah, they
whose
try to
neck is
call
that.
him Man of Steel. Yeah.
But that air, they're saying that his mic blew up, which makes sense if you looked at the videos from when they was blowing up the Armenians, you know what I mean, and the Yemenis inside with the beepers and the phones. It was just giving up that same type of puff, same type of explosion, you know what I mean. But I'm just saying that every action that showed from that impact that Charlie Kirk took, whether it was the shotgun, whether it was a sniper, whether it was a handgun, whether it was the impact that he took, it came from forward. It came from straight from where his front is at towards his left. So, and what 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 didn't happen as quick as it was supposed to, he was supposed to have fell over. You know what I mean? So it could make everything seem like what they wanted to show. Since he didn't fall over, the man had to push him over. You understand? Not only that he had to push him over, but they had to also move him out the framework where they could take away the explosion of the any detonators that he had on him. You know what I mean? Which we all seen.
They had that going on. They had somebody going to get the footage. There was so much. There was
and
so much like
as we look at that footage as well, we don't see nobody trying to walk over no blood. We
as
don't see
soon as they
nobody trying to tippy toe over no blood because a
as
whole
soon
bunch
as
of
that
blood on the
shot,
floor
as soon as you heard that, as soon as you heard that bang, that's when everybody knew when to go ahead and do their part.
and do their part. Yeah,
Yo,
everybody
so let me ask you
and
a question.
go ahead.
Let me ask this question. Do y'all think this man could have faked his own, did some Machiavelli shit, and faked
Listen,
his own demise?
I do not
Because he
doubt it.
knows that it
I
possibly was going to happen in the future because he didn't want to stop doing
I
these, displays of being smarter than most people.
Listen, it
I
was either that or die for real.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Do y'all think it was? Y'all think he
bro,
faked his own shit though?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Because
could
that was his
see
only
it.
option. That was his only option. His option was to either die for real or you're gonna die when you can't speak anymore because you are getting in too deep now.
So
Yeah,
where do you think he's at? Where do y'all think
But
he's at?
protection,
Is
witness
he in
protection,
Europe? He said witness protection.
some type shit
well,
like that.
No, he's
I,
living underneath the White House. That's what it is. I mean, he's in some basement somewhere.
but Uncle Jackie, be honest with you, like that thought. And remember that thought like crossed my mind several times. But it's like it's like it's kind of odd. It's kind of hard to do it. But we also see magic tricks on
There's
TV all the
no
fucking
grave
time. You
site.
understand?
There's no grave site. He had no funeral. There's no death certificate. You get what I'm saying?
No, but
Like
see, the thing of it is if he had a grave site, how many fucking assholes would
People
go
nah,
over
desecrate that
there
shit.
and
nah,
fucking desecrate
nah,
that motherfucker?
nah.
No,
Nah,
dude,
I believe
he's a
nah,
multimillionaire. Hold on, he's a
no.
multimillionaire, and he's buried somewhere on a property that he owns that nobody knows about or nobody
I'm
knows
not
is
buying
public.
that. I'm not buying that. How many people was hated and they still got grave sites? I'm not buying that.
But they gotta have a death certificate because to make it look like to fit the movie. You know what I mean? So they're gonna have to produce a death certificate, one way or
Yeah,
another. You know what I mean? So that aspect, I don't think
Yeah,
that.
but where was he buried?
But my thing is, where was his parent? Where's his parents at? Like I said, like TMZ find everybody. You know what I mean? The news will find everybody and anybody. They don't want us to know certain shit, bro,
yeah,
because they
but
don't.
TMZ will sit there and celebrate Charlie Kirk's death, though.
No. I just do TMZ just to throw them out there because
Yeah, well,
they're media outlet.
I'll
You
throw them
understand?
right underneath
But
the bus when you hear them cheering and shit, man.
And
Yeah.
that's another good point. That's another good point. Just like how you said, like people would desecrate his gravesite, right? So like they would definitely find it. How
Oh
good
yeah.
people are and shit. You know what I mean? And that shit ain't been
Maybe
found yet.
they're not Charlie Kirk good because that
uh,
dude was
but
a
but but
multi-billionaire. He
but
had multiple companies that he
But
ran.
to go back to what Uncle Jackie asked, I did have a thought of the faking of death because remember that blood when he got shot, that blood just seemed it looked different. You know what I mean? And I said that looked real, but it looked in my sense it looked real, but it looked fake. But well, no, I didn't say it looked fake, but I said that wasn't Hollywood blood. Yeah, that's what I said. And when I meant I say that
Well,
it wasn't movie blood. You know what I mean?
I
Like
tell you what, I never.
Candace always said she didn't see blood.
and no. She said she didn't see blood from the back. And as far as like blood being splattered on the ground, and that's what I said too. Like no one was walking like let me not step on Charlie Kirk's blood. You know what I mean? Like nobody was like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No,
But I
no,
but
but
I
at the
do
same time,
remember.
you're not thinking like it's a if you're part of security, yeah,
No,
you're kind of
okay.
like
No,
you
during
consider.
that rush,
Nobody was covered
I
in
no,
blood.
no,
Nobody was
no.
covered in
Hold on,
blood.
hold on. It moves, yeah. Throughout that whole time when you're rushing trying to save the guy, I don't expect you to worry about blood. You understand?
Yeah,
But after when they was walking around, after the 10 minutes, 20 minutes after he was at the hospital or whatever, and the guy was still walking around with the camera, because there's a guy with a camera that walked around for an hour during the whole shooting, and I watched the whole footage. And he was the man was standing where the shooter came, where the shooter came down from off the roof and had the
Why do you think
imprint and everything.
they paved over they paved over
Yeah,
the scene,
like
the crime
like
scene, because there was no blood, and they
yeah,
didn't want nobody getting any evidence of that.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a possibility, but at the same
yeah.
time, let's say, fuck, dude, I don't know. I've never seen a human being hit like that, but at the same time, I've seen plenty of deer hit like that, and of all the
He
deer
just can't
that I
speak
field
anymore.
dressed and seen, that looked like real blood. But
He got in too deep. He got
I've
in
seen
too
a
deep.
lot of real blood, and
He
yeah,
raised a lot of topics, and he gained a lot of enemies from it. And his choices was, listen, either you take this fall and you can never speak again, or you die for real.
But then, okay, the fakeness. Let's put it into perspective now. So his wife will have to know that he faked his death too. So his wife is part of the bullshit
Of
and
course.
shit like that. So then now, what? He's hiding from her too.
No, he's not
Man,
hiding from her. She knows.
that
She
nigga got
knows
7
everything
years.
that's going on.
He
She's
got he got before 7 years to pop up before his ass end up in jail for real, for real. If he's
he's an
gonna do the
actress.
fake part.
If he faked his death,
Yeah,
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 if
she's
he's gonna
an
fake his
actress.
death. I know you got like 7 years. I know it's a limit on that shit. Because you're gonna get hit with tax evasion and all kinds of shit. So you got a time limit. So whatever he's trying to prove, if he's doing that, he has 6 damn years.
You saw cause listen, you saw the casket, right? JD Vance had his hand on it.
Yeah,
You saw the
supposedly Erica
casket.
did too, his wife. Supposedly.
Yeah, she was taking a video with his hands.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Supposedly.
yeah, talking to him. Yeah, that was wild.
yo,
Yeah,
wait,
That struck
dude,
me. That struck me as odd too to share it. You know what I mean? Now maybe if you did it on your own and kept it for yourself, maybe I would think that's kind of odd too. But then I would understand the love, this, that, and the third.
no, no.
He wasn't gonna
I'll tell you what's
publicly
weird. I'll tell you what's weird. My
throw a
family.
casket
Hold
though.
on, hold on,
That's
hold on.
weird.
My family, hey, dude, I got to comment on that. My family did something fucking weird, and I don't know why they did, but they always took Polaroids of the dead back in the day. When I was
Now,
a kid, I would go through
yeah,
the fucking family album,
that's the
and there
only
would be a
one.
section. There would be a section of them, and there would be them laying there in their casket, or they'd have their casket standing up, and they'd be tilted at an angle, of course, so they don't slide out of the casket. But dude,
My
every
family
last one of them looks like they got
down.
every last one of them looks like they got jaundice because they've been embalmed. Okay, they've all the blood has been taken out of the body, and embalming fluid has been replaced all of that to preserve the body when it goes into the ground. So when a white person gets filled up with
embalming fluid.
yeah, embalming fluid, but it's I used to know the chemical. But anyways, when they're filled up, the embalming fluid has got a yellow color to it, which it changes the color of the skin. Okay, so yeah, does it look fake? Yeah, absolutely. It does not look like the human being that you knew is living, because their body's been preserved. So that could suggest what the because I saw the picture itself too. They kind of look fake, but at the same time, it's all questionable. If it's
No, I'm
questionable,
saying no.
then
I seen the video. The video just struck me as odd. Like, why were you taking video and just like
Exactly.
streaming it? You know what I mean? Like
No,
that streaming it shit was just odd.
that's weird.
yeah. At the same time, as morbid
That's
as
like
it may seem,
that's like what you call it, them trying to be like, oh, like he's really dead, like you know what I mean? Like but like we know he's not. Like we're gonna figure it
Well,
out.
well. See. Like
whoa.
my thought is that he's dead, and I just thought his wife was just playing the part of a crying widow, and I'm like, you're doing too much right now. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to.
Yeah,
I
why
mean,
else would you show that? Why else would
huh?
you show? Because you don't see nobody at a funeral and taking a video of
No,
them walking up to the casket.
bullshit,
Why else would they
Because
show it?
Jackie O stayed in her fucking dress that had fucking JFK's brains all over it. She stayed in that dress until the fucking day's end. She gave interviews with it. It was covered in. I mean, well, not covered. It wasn't like very covered, but at the same time,
When she was at the funeral, did she show what you call it? Like
dude,
they didn't have phones
the
back then. But I'm
JFK's
just
funeral was celebrated by the entire nation. You know, like that's the famous moment where John F. Kennedy Jr. Salutes his dad. He's standing there, little John, and salutes his dad while standing in front of Jackie
He
O.
really died.
What?
He really died.
He really died.
Yes, and who's to say that Charlie
Yeah.
Kirk didn't? See, this is assuming that he's still alive. I mean, like fucking, just think, like I'm not going to assume the ultimate. I don't know, man. Like the guy had plenty of reasons to be assassinated, but I don't think he had to worry about the left. You know, as crazy as or as loony as they can get, I don't think it was somebody that was like, "Oh, you hate." I don't think they were like. I don't think they were like, "Oh, you hate DEI." Oh, I gotta put a cross.
Where do you
there
think
on
he
you."
was
No.
getting death threats from? He was getting his death threats from the left.
Yes, dude, but that's you always get the death threats from the left, and anybody who wants to move in kind of a espionage move to take out somebody who's not only is influential, okay, among the older folks, but he's influential among the college kids. He's creating generations of believers, generations of people that are constitutionalists, generations of people that are going to see past the clickbait and see past these little clips or 5 minutes of Charlie Kirk to try to understand Charlie Kirk, or 5 minutes with Erica Kirk to find out what Erica Kirk is about. You know, it takes several hours to kind of get a grasp or understanding of what their business was like, how much money they made. Did they have any companies that were helping out urban black cities or urban areas in black areas of major cities like Chicago and New Jersey and New York City and I can't remember the other cities too, but they also had they sponsored a company that helped spread these ideals throughout the colleges. So like that generated like millions upon millions of voters, which is why Charlie Kirk was like Trump's little right hand man, you know, especially when it came to the voter and campaigning. He knew how to debate people. From your community college kid all the way up to your professors in high end Ivy League colleges. He debated professors and he also debated students.
None of
So
that.
all of that is all got a power to it.
His death. None of that proves that he didn't fake his death. Like he faked his death. You know what I mean?
None of that says that he
had to do it.
wasn't
He had to do it.
assassinated.
I think only reason why I don't think he faked his death because he claimed he's like the man of God type of thing. You know what I mean? And I think as a man of God that you're gonna feel that God's gonna have you regardless.
Money talks, bullshit walks. All right, people who do that. Money. Oh, man of God, Joel Osteen's. Listen, I could go.
I mean, what you mean? What you mean? He took the money from you think he took the money from IHOP? You think he took the money from IHOP and disappeared?
Exactly.
Oh shit!
But then
it still leaves, dude. It still leaves the
then you
impression
don't
that the martyrdom will accent people's curiosity in his relationship with, or his lack of relationship with IHOP.
Yeah, so that's what I'm
You
saying.
know, that's the thing.
It don't carry on.
That he has a relationship with them. That means that he took the basic deal. What would you choose?
No,
You're gonna choose death.
No, yeah, but you took the basic deal. But
which one? No, honestly, which one would you choose? Would you choose death? Or would you choose to die
I
for
would
fake?
take the money. I would take the bag and run if I could.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna die. Like you gonna. You know what I mean?
But coming from
here's,
point of view.
Here's the plan. Yeah. It's like IHOP. It's like IHOP.
But IHOP. But coming from IHOP point, I pay you the money, but I want you to preach that you down with my cause. But if you take the money and you hide, then you preaching my cause is no longer there. Your wife don't carry the same weight as you. You know what I mean?
Not.
Your company don't carry the same weight as you if you're not there. So me paying you this $150 million is gonna be for nothing. Then you understand? So I don't think he took the money and ran either. I think if he did fake his death,
he took it and hide.
He didn't
run. He took it and hide.
That's too many variables. I think, bro.
Okay. First off,
let me explain. What you call it? Like he got in too deep on the topics that he was saying, like the stuff that he was saying, the people that he was, bringing into the light. Like he was getting in too deep. So the people, brought him to a meeting and they told him, listen, you're gonna have to do this, all right, because you bringing up too much stuff, or you're gonna die, right? Either you choose this, or you're gonna die. You're gonna have to choose a fake death. We're gonna silence you. That's it. You're silenced. You get what I'm saying? That you got in
Mm-hmm.
too deep. So he chose he's like, damn, I don't want to die. You know what I mean? So I'll choose the fake death, and
Yeah, but
you get what
there's
I'm saying?
there's
Yeah,
one
I
logical
understand.
problem with that though. There's one logical problem, and that would suggest that IHOP came to Charlie and said, "Hey, um, we want to negotiate investing 150 million into your company, and uh, that you've got this going on for you, and this is strong for the ADL, and this is strong for this, and this is strong for that, and you could use that 150 million into these particular strengths, and you can exploit weaknesses in your company and grow this, that, and the other thing." Okay, and the but the thing is that like you can't have this 150 million until the last 2 or 3 interviews that you give before you're taken out. Yeah, you got to talk all kinds of shit about us. You know,
No.
that's basically no. But the whole truth is that you look at every the last 3 or even 4 interviews that the man gave, he was uh,
How long?
absolutely opposed to it. And
That
this is after
was after the meeting in Hampton.
this is after it's several months after his negotiations with
After the meeting in Hamptons.
I don't know where it was. I don't.
I
All
think the
I know
meeting
is
in
that
Hampton happened
they
like a month ago,
all I know is
a
they
month
sat
ago at
down.
the most.
All I know is they sat down and they had negotiations, and Charlie was thinking about it.
We're in
And then
October 4th.
and then the well, no. The thing it was the October 7th was what had Charlie questioning things. He did it on 3 interviews. He did it on Patrick David. He also did it on the Laura Loomer. I think I could be wrong, but and he also did it with Candace Owens. And I think he did it with Tucker Carlson too, but I could be wrong on that one. That's still out there. But what I'm saying is that his handful of interviews, his last mostly exposed and mostly viewed interviews, were suggesting that he had done his research after the meeting, and he was not going to go forth with it because he had questions for Mr. Betty Netanyahu or whatever his name is. So my point is that the guy was publicly against. Excuse me. He was publicly against IHOP in a lot of different levels, and it wasn't just on a political level. These were like on holy levels. He started looking stuff up in the Bible to not generate a separation, but expose and bring to light a separation between the Jews and the Christians when it came down to it. So the more he got clear with the difference between Christians and Jews, and there is a difference, and the more he questioned October 7th, I think that's where he was brought more attention. I don't think I think he passed a precipice at this point, at that point where he thought that he was spending enough money to have security. Stephen Crowder tried to do the same thing, or not tried, but he did the same thing just recently, and he ended up paying $250,000 on the security alone because he needed to spend that money in order to go to a campus and sit down and feel protected without being shot and debate students at colleges, just to show that it could be done again, and there are people that are brave enough to continue to do so, like Candace Owens, because they were all in the same kind of group to motivate the conservative voters within college students. So yeah, that's you take out an influential guy like that that has literally decades ahead of him of influence, decades of influence ahead of him, and that that weakens. But then it's got Christians figured out wrong. When something like a martyrdom takes place, it's an entirely different thing. You take out one of our believers, our laymen, and that kind of thing, but you take out somebody like Charlie Kirk that can, take verses of the Bible and apply them to not only our politics, but the way we live in communities and how to grow from that and how to grow not only, a community, but love in that community for everybody that's going on with that. That's a light that shines too bright. Yeah, for folks that want to be considered the chosen folks. Sorry, I went long winded, man, but it just when there's a war going on, and then all of a sudden you have somebody that can sway millions, literally millions of folks away from your war and away from funding your war. Yeah, you're painting yourself as a target. There was no negotiating in that regard. It was either shut the fuck up, or you're dead. And he said, "Fucking ha ha! I'm in the United States. Hell hath no fury like us fucking scorn. So go ahead, shoot away." So, the worst thing hasn't happened, the consequences for Charlie Kirk's death or assassination, still lay in the shadows right now. I think.
I still think it's all made up. What you call it? Like this, there's something more to it, and like behind the scenes, and this is just a
Just a heads up.
distraction because they got something else going on. You know what I mean? Like fucking like Sweden just fucking made it official with putting a chip inside fucking people and paying for their shit. So what you call it? Like there's so much shit going on that they're distracting us from. You know what I mean? Like Nepal took over. Uh, like the youth took over Nepal by voting on
Oh yeah.
board. You know what I mean? Like a whole bunch of shit happened that like they don't want us to know about. And like what you call, I feel like this is just a distraction to keep us running in circles in the United States, so we don't know what's going on in the outside world. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but I don't think they're
Smoke and
stupid
mirrors.
though. I don't think they think we're that stupid though. I mean, like here we are, five gentlemen here that are from different walks of life, and as a matter of fact, I saw the video too. I was aware of that that Nepal voted in somebody else on our new legislature, or no, not new legislature, but a new president via Discord. It's absolutely remarkable. Was it covered by your mainstream media? Absolutely not. Not by CNN, not by Fox News, either side. But at the same time, you and I both know about it. See, we're in the advent of or we're in the information age. So it's like information to us now is just at our fingertips. But at the same time, we got to keep our heads on a swivel to make sure that what we're getting isn't this latent gaslighting bullshit. Is it clickbait? Is it a 30-second video on on somebody's perspective of what happened to Charlie Kirk, or is it a 2-hour in-depth analysis to everybody who was connected? Somebody has drawn a connection with AI and taken every person, every audience member in that crowd, a picture of them, their whole background, everything, everybody who they're related to, from military, you name it, to CIA, you name it, blah 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 blah, and everything has been deduced. And all that. Yeah, you know what? It may take some time to do that, but we're also in the time and place to do it. It can be done, and it might be being done right now as we speak. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I'm sorry, I'm running off of the mouth again. Now, apologies, guys, man.
All right, buddy. Your fella, just want to give you a heads up. We got 15 minutes stuff for the show. I
Yeah.
mean, appreciate you guys be coming out and stuff like that. But yeah,
Oh
man.
yeah.
It just how like you said, Josh. A lot of stuff going on in the world, and we going around in the circle over here about some person that passed away, and how he died. You know what I mean? And what could be and what could not be. You know what I mean? So yeah. Yeah, it usually happens like that. Smokes and mirrors, they call it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I just think my thing as an American, and I've been saying this on several shows that we have, that we have a conflict of interest when we have dual citizenship running our country. You know what I mean? Like, because obviously, if our government's about to shut down, right? Whether we have the money, we don't have the money, whether, we worried about X, Y, and Z because health insurance and this, that, and the third. We give billions and billions and trillions of dollars to other countries that don't really need it because they are aggressive in certain things. You know what I mean? And it just strikes me as odd when it comes down to what we need done in our country that it don't get done the correct way. You know what I mean? There's always political lines that get crossed. You know what I mean? That has to get crossed, or has to, the I's got to get dotted, the T's got to get crossed, type of thing. You know what I mean? So it hurts me as an American that, I could see, people, going to get dual citizenship, or being able to function around my country the way I should be able to function around my country. You know what I mean? So it bothers me, bro. It bothers me.
Yeah, that kind of touches on what I'm kind of curious about is like, when I was working in New York as a furniture mover, there were a lot of immigrants that were coming through the front door. They were, they went to their hearings, they paid their little money into what they needed to do for citizenship and everything. And but one of the things that just absolutely stood out, like there was no tomorrow, is how hard they worked.
Hmm.
The effort that they put behind all of their work, and when they go back to the country after their work visa or student visa ran out, man, my team's always kind of suffered until the following season. Then they come out and they start working again, and they go back home and pay for their tuition for school. Most of them, there were a lot of them that were trying to be accountants, doctors, lawyers in their own countries, and they just come in on a work or a student visa, and sometimes they would immigrate, sometimes they wouldn't. But I was some of the hardest workers, and I thought to myself, I was like, well, man, if there are a lot, excuse me, if there are a lot of countries out there that are willing to, travel to a foreign country for the time being, and put out the extra effort, sit through the class, and become this, that, or the other thing, and make that difference in their country, then why aren't more countries doing that? I mean, like, you think of the efforts that the like a cobalt miner in the Congo puts out, like there's no tomorrow. Now, I know they get paid absolutely shit if they get paid at all, and but at the same time, it's like, if you're willing to put out that backbreaking effort, then why not focus it into the direction? I don't know, man. And it's hard to say
But
when I'm
but
not oppressed, when I'm not being
but
slave to
but
digging a mine. But you know what I'm
but
saying?
I'm not gonna say everybody that you came across didn't, wasn't gonna go, saving that money up to go to school. But a lot of them was just, taking their money back to their country and building up within their country. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
trying to, get some type of financial stability for themselves and their family inside their country. So they would come here and work and go back there and build a store, and that store will have, income,
Hmm.
have American dreams. But um, you got some people that did go to college and use that visa and that work visa for there. But then what would happen, the fluctuation of immigrants and the job market now, you know, rather pay $5 to an immigrant instead of paying $10 to a regular worker from the USA, which that's the minimum wage type of thing. You know what I mean? So now you got, and now you got the outlook that people don't want to work these jobs because these people, certain people got the jobs. You know what I mean? Um, and that wouldn't be the case. The case would be the fact that the management gonna look for these people because they could save at the end of the month, or they could save in the long run. So
Well, it's not a matter of saving. It's a matter of earning an income that is anywhere between like three times to almost 1,000 times what you would ever make in your own country.
yeah,
That's what.
but it also knocking the regular person and that want to work this job but can't get the opportunity because they don't know that job is open, and because they don't have the reference of the word of mouth of the immigrant that's already been working there, telling his buddy that, listen, Mr. John got a job for us. You know what I mean? I could get
You know
four of
what?
you
I
guys.
used to.
I
I used to.
hold on. I can
Yeah.
get four of you guys. He's gonna pay y'all $5 each, so that's $20. Instead of having to pay $40 for four regular American guys. So yeah, it's a saving issue. It's a saving coming from the top, which is the employee, and then it is more money for the immigrant that's here trying to save money. Yeah, so
I used
it's a
to. I
double
used to
edged
think
sword
like
with
that.
that.
I no. I used to. I no. Well, it's not really a double-edged sword. I used to think like that when I was watching in the meatpacking district when the restaurants were going up, and I want to say like 2005, 2007. But anyway, excuse me. I was head busser at one of these restaurants, and I would watch all the Cuban and Mexican bussers. Uh, they stuck around for the grand opening. I got there afterwards, and I was made head busser. I had like 25 bussers a night worked at this restaurant. It's like 700 jobs. It's a huge place. But anyway, um, they stuck around while the business was, still, managing and perpetuating, and we still got some celebrities in there like Patrick Ewing and sort of actress here and there or whatever. And but once it started dying down, the guys were actually looking into the new restaurant projects that were being built up in the Meatpacking district. For some reason, it was getting popular to build restaurants in the Meatpacking district. But long story short, I used to get kind of envious because these guys knew which restaurants to go to and which ones didn't. And but at the same time, I still found work. At the end of the day, I'm not, and it's not the jobs that I don't want to do. I mean, I was a busser. I pulled dirty plates off tables and took them out to the dishwasher, and the dishwasher took care of them. But I spilled coffee on me. I didn't name a food. I spilled it on me. Picking up. You've seen a busser's job, and that's what I'm saying. It's like the American is no less or more humbled to do work out in the sun or push a mower or whatever. You swing a hammer, you name it. They're willing to do the work just as much as anybody else around the world wants to do that work too. The question is who gets to do that work? The guy who's here or the guy who came here? Is it the guy who's been paying taxes all his life since he was 18 years old and got his first job, or is it the guy that he's got to pay taxes to into the system so the system can give him EBT and give him a Section 80 and medical treatment the whole 9 yards when I got to pay for my own insurance?
Them don't get that shit.
But that's the math is not mathing at all.
If you ask me, it all comes down to opportunity, word of mouth. Um, Also, you gotta look at. I don't know, bro. Like it's variables behind that.
Man, they stick together. That's what
Yeah,
happens. It's like what you
that
call it.
that's what I said, word of mouth type of thing. You know what I mean? But it's different variables too because okay, now as Moves was talking, and we got 7 minutes left, y'all. Um, and I want to give y'all time to to say what's up, say goodbyes and shit like that. But it's like this, okay. I was a dude that grew up that couldn't travel unless I was going. So my mom knew I was going somewhere. You know what I mean? If I was going to my family house, you know what I mean? The X, Y, and Z. And if I was going to Manhattan, what was I going to Manhattan for? You know, if I was going downtown Brooklyn, what was I going downtown Brooklyn for? And I wasn't, she didn't want me to go hanging out everywhere, anywhere, you know what I mean? And when I did go to these places, I went with these places with my boys. And when we went with your boys, you're not to go, you probably went to go shopping or something like that. But you didn't go out there possibly looking for a job. Now, if you come across, work is hiring, this, that, and third, you probably be like, oh, let me get an application, this, that, and third. But it was nowhere where, like in the newspaper, where Mr. John is hiring 4 people in Queens. You know what I mean? And the person would read that and will go out there to Queens and get that job. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
one, A, B, you wasn't out there 4 o'clock in the morning where that actual time you should have been out there, because that's where the construction worker pick at the time. Like you didn't know that routine. You know what I mean? So when you get out there at 8 o'clock in the morning thinking that you're gonna be first in line, you really the last person. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I'm just saying that like the insight and the thought process for certain communities, and I hate to say it like that, you know what I mean? But like it was limited because either your parents didn't allow you to go someplace, or if you didn't have no specific reason to go there, you wasn't going there outright looking for a job. You know what I mean? Because you didn't know that was the place to look at. You was certain things you wasn't taught. Now you could be pushed by certain people and go find yourself a job, or go over in that section because that's where the warehouse is at. You know what I mean? Like that thought process could be brought to your attention, but if that's not brought to your attention inside your community, then you stuck starting you throwing rocks. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's a lot. That's the perspective I just want people to see as they talk about, it was equal opportunity. If you don't know and you wasn't pushed and you don't have that figure in front of you, you see your mom's work, yeah, but you see her working a city job, and you gotta wait till you're 18 for a city job. You know what I mean? You go to the corner store try to get a sweeping job, they already got an old man working there that been working there for years. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I'm just saying that you go try to find little things, but you can't find it in your neighborhood, and there's no way for you to go outside your neighborhood because you're not qualified or you're not ready to go. Your mom don't feel comfortable, or you know what I mean, or she feel she's not comfortable. But anyway, it's 4 minutes left. I love you guys. I want you guys to give a outro type of shit. Send love to your peoples and everything else. And like I said, I appreciate you guys. For coming on. Moves, we're gonna start with you, bro.
Sure, man. Yeah. Thanks, y'all, for inviting me out here, man. It's always fun to sit back, contemplate. You know, I do play the devil's advocate. And I also believe that not to believe at the same time. Um, when when it comes down to conspiracy theory, I've reached a point now where I'm not believing anything until what seems to be the truth, or what is the truth, that comes out. Um, the What was it that Doctor? Yeah, Yellow. What were you saying earlier about how um, people were generating? Well, anyhow, my point in this whole thing is that it, it's all staged. They're waving
Smoking
one hand,
mirrors.
yeah, smoking mirrors,
Smoking mirrors.
being hornswoggled and bamboozled and led astray in so many different ways. But at the same time, oh yes, I remember where I'm at. Um, the the thing I fall back on most when it comes down to being an American, and this like I was my second month in New York City, and I think I was around the theater district. I had to take the 6 train um, up to the South Bronx. But anyway, I was on my way down, and I was downtown in Times Square, and I saw a sign for the 6 train. I went down this narrow staircase, and there's this little place called Siberia Bar, and it's a little hole in the wall, and it was a pretty hot spot, I guess, back in the day. And but like I said, it was a little hole in the wall, and I saw Howard Stern standing in the back there, and man, I was scared shitless because here it is, it's 2000, man, and I'm I don't know shit about New York. I just moved here like a month before. I was
Hey,
told
move. Don't mean to cut you off. It's supposed to be an outro, man. You must say.
ah oh man, my bad, man. No, they're doing this shit live too.
Nah, another
But
story, man.
okay. The whole point is that this okay. The outro is this, guys. Everybody in this state, and everybody in your state, and everybody in your country, as far as working is concerned, we're all expecting the best. We want what we pay for, and if you give them what they pay for before they even pay for it, they'll pay for it. If they pay you with a conscience, you'll have earned more because you've learned more, and you have learned to be. If you can learn to be the best, or even second best, or third best, or fifth best, or whatever, as long as it's better than when you first stepped in, then you will earn more. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You just keep that drive, um, like I said, if you strive to be the best, like in New York City, they expect to be the best. In any of the companies that you go to apply yourself in, and that's from scrubbing toilets to pushing a broom to trading stocks and all that kind of stuff. So with that in mind, folks, please. Sorry, being long-winded, but thanks again. You guys have a good night. All right.
Good looking, bro. Hey, Josh, you up next, bro, for us.
Yo, appreciate you having me on your show. And what you call it? Anytime you have a show, man, just I would love to come back on. Definitely.
No doubt. You always welcome, brother.
Appreciate you. Definitely.
Uncle Jackie, you still there? Uncle
Yeah, I'm
Jackie.
still here. I'm still here.
Okay.
I ain't going nowhere. I just was chilling though. Shit, I ate everything.
You stupid. It's the outro right here. We about to be out by the end of the show.
Nah, I know. I've been listening, bro.
Okay.
Like I took
Yeah, I
y'all
know.
with me to the kitchen. I made my motherfucking. I stopped myself from going to Checkers, getting me. I made my own chicken sandwiches. So it's been fun. You know what I mean? I've been listening to everything everybody was saying. You know what I'm saying?
Let's peace.
So you know what I mean? It was another. This shit was a awesome show. Hope everybody liked something. Share. Appreciate moves and everybody that I contacted for coming through on short notice. Appreciate you, Drunken Monkey, for the few minutes you had to spare. You gave it to us. So you know what I mean? I appreciate that. That shit was fire. Miss Brinson, everybody who came through. I ain't know I had the power. I forgot I had the power to still do the shit I could do. So the next time, we come through, we keep Candace Owens out our mouths and everything will be fine. You know what I mean? But appreciate the platform and you know what I mean? Hopefully it won't be too long before we do another one. And shit, personally, I don't know when the hell tomorrow's Sunday. I don't know, man. I just be feeling like doing shit. So maybe tomorrow I might do something. I don't know. I might do some shit with my wife saying we better than everybody else. I just want to be cocky. Pause. But I don't know. We'll see though. But I appreciate y'all. Everybody have a good night. Everybody appreciate everybody who came through.
Facts.
Word.
All right.
Yo, Sauce, you still out there? Sauce out.
Sauce is quiet.
Sauce is done. He probably Sauce. Say you start a new job, probably sleeping.
Yeah, he probably knocked the hell out. Word.
Yo, I just want to say I appreciate everybody that came out in the chat, everybody that came through. Make sure y'all like, sub, and share it to y'all peoples. Good looking Source for coming through. Good looking Josh. Appreciate you, and I'm glad you came was able to come and see the channel. Hopefully you subscribe to it as well.
Oh,
Um,
definitely.
moves. You already know always appreciate your time, your little bit of time that you have with us. You know what I mean? Hopefully that you enjoy your stay on the show as well. Uncle Jackie, you already know you right hand man. So you know what I mean? So it shouldn't be said, but if just in case it has to be said, I appreciate you coming on the show as well. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna try to do this every week. I'm gonna get DOJ back up here too. You know what I mean? This was just an improv show that I wanted to do. I've been wanting to do a show on my channel, but you know what I mean? I just want to get my proper equipment paused. You know what I mean? So until next week, y'all, appreciate and peace.
Later.
Doc, Uncle Jackie, talk with flair in the world of sports, ain't nothing rare. Keep disrupting plays, breaking it down. East Coast vibes setting the tone in town. From touchdowns to home runs, they cover it all. The podcast hype is never gonna fall. DOJ sparking the bass, driving the flow. With every episode, their legend starts to grow. Tune in to rhythm, feeling East Coast pride. Doc, Jackie and DOJ taking you for a ride. Every story unfolds with precision and might. Sports come alive under the spotlight. Doc, Uncle Jackie, talk with
Yellow tape, we walking on the scene. Uncle Jackie and the DOJ team. Podcast live, catch us on the stream. East Coast vibes, heavy with the beam. We're the talk, all on the map. Spitting truth in every rap. Got the city on our back. No chance, man, no cap.
Yellow tape, we're here, say. Podcast sponsors, night and say. Uncle Jackie, Doc and Uncle Jackie in the mic zone. Zeros exports for legends and bros. Queer rhythm gods in the flow, no clone. Chatting up stories that we highlight. So from the East Coast streets, rap echo flows. Doc and the crew where spotlight shows. Uncle Jackie's voice like the wind that blows. Cash hustle, everybody knows. From the East Coast streets, rap echo flows. Doc and the crew where